Chapter 2966. Seeing Qin Yun hovering in the air motionlessly, the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor shouted anxiously. He grabbed Qin Yun's collar and shouted, "Old fool, don't waste time and quickly find the entrance or I will castrate you first." "I'm almost there." Qin Yun knew that there were 5 mountains that looked irregular and out of place with the terrain. Qin Yun had already found out long ago, and he was deliberately stalling for time to see what would happen to the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. "Humph, you have indeed found out where the entrance is. You purposely did not tell me and even destroyed the signal transmission. You old bastard, you are really evil." The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor was sure that Qin Yun was behind this. Qin Yun sneered in his heart. He really did not do anything. If he was really evil, the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor might have already been killed and could only escape with his soul. "You say, I am evil. Fine, I will show you how I'm going to do evil to you." Qin Yun thought to himself. He was silently enduring and waiting for the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor to enter the small space. At that time, he would see if the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor would be the unlucky one. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor took out a chain and tied it around Qin Yun's neck as if he was a dog. He sneered, "Old bastard, don't try to struggle. My chain will tie you up tightly, and you will not be able to break free." Of course, Qin Yun could break free. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's chain was no different from mud in his eyes. "Sun Moon Tribe Emperor, I really did not do anything. Let me remind you, don't focus all your attention on me. You must be wary of the dangers that might appear in the small space." Qin Yun reminded the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor sincerely. "Stop talking nonsense. Are we there yet?" The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor shouted as he pulled Qin Yun forward. Qin Yun casually pointed at a few mountains and said, "Over there, let's try." The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor punched the ground a few times. With his strength, even if he did not use much divine space power, he would still be able to smash the mountains into pieces. After a few loud sounds, the mountains were smashed into pieces and a large number of stones were swept away by a violent air wave. There is nothing. The entrance to the small space is a vertical golden spatial crack. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor pulled Qin Yun over and scolded, "You old bastard, are you messing with me? You didn't give me enough time to look." Qin Yun said, "That's why my judgment was affected." He had indeed pointed at the wrong location on purpose in order to stall for time and see if the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's calamity had arrived. That way, he would be able to get rid of the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor without having to do anything. "If you don't point correctly, I will cut off your head." Sun Moon Emperor is very angry because he is sure that Qin Yun is behind this. Qin Yun did not want to clash with the Sun Moon Tribe's Emperor, so he pointed out the correct mountains. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor glared at Qin Yun and said coldly, "If you are wrong again, you are finished." As soon as he finished speaking, he immediately sent out several powerful punches towards the mountains that Qin Yun pointed out. Boom, boom, boom. Another series of loud explosions rang out. The earth shook violently, and sand and dust flew up. The aftermath of the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's punches swept out majestically in all directions. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor is an impatient person, and he threw out a few more talismans. These are talismans that can burst out strong gales and blow the dust away. Originally, there was a large mountain below, but now it had been blasted away. Moreover, there was also a huge sunken pit. After the dust was blown away, under the intense sunlight, a few meters tall golden bar was suspended above the pit. This golden bar is like a golden crack that appeared out of nowhere, and it leads to the small space. What Qin Yun found strange is that there are no other dangerous things nearby. So why did the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor lose his signal? The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor was able to come here because of the signal. Now that the signal has been lost, if it is not destroyed by something, then there must be something wrong with the tool. Old bastard, it is really you who is behind this. You want to keep all the divine universe golden stones in the small space for yourself, right? No wonder you can be together with you, Xieji. You two are birds of feather. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor sneered. I knew it. Those who are together with you, Xieji, are all the same. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor pulled the chain and laughed loudly as he rushed towards the spatial crack. Qin Yun looked at the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's luck again, and it is still the same as before. Is this guy going to be killed by me? Qin Yun is not too sure, because he only planned to control the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor after entering the small space. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor is very rich, and he is in charge of the entire heavenly court. Qin Yun does not plan to kill him immediately, but he wants to squeeze out some divine universe golden stones first. Quickly go and see if you can open the seal at the entrance. If you can't, I will kill you immediately. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor shouted. He is now using the chain to lock Qin Yun's neck as if he is walking a dog, and this made him very proud. Qin Yun flew towards the spatial rift. It was only half a meter wide, but he could see its interior. The tiny space was the size of a small mountain villa. It was golden, and there were many divine metallic rocks of various sizes piled up inside. It was unknown how they were formed. He stretched out his hand to touch the entrance and found that there is indeed a very strong barrier blocking it, making it impossible for him to put his hand in. Qin Yun is not in a hurry to see how to break the barrier. Instead, he carefully observed the situation inside to see if there is any danger. However, the barrier is very strong, and it can isolate everything inside the small space, making it impossible for him to sense the situation inside. Can you open the barrier? If you can't, tell me immediately so that I can cut off your head. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor shouted angrily. This will take time. You should know better than me how strong this barrier is. If I really open it in an instant, then it would be impossible for me to be caught by you. Qin Yun snorted, expressing his dissatisfaction. Seeing that the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor is about to speak, Qin Yun said again, if you don't be quiet, it will take a long time. I hope you don't disturb me when I break the barrier. He took out the primal beginning divine mirror and then hid the divine king heavenly seal under the wide sleeve of his robe. With his back facing the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor, he pressed the divine king heavenly seal behind the primal beginning divine mirror and made the primal beginning divine mirror shoot out strong light. On the way, Qin Yun also talked with Tai Shi, so Tai Shi knew what Qin Yun wanted to do. Brother Tai Shi, can you see through the barrier? I feel that there is something in the small space. Qin Yun said, I can't see through it. Let's go in first. If there is really something strong, it won't be too late for you to run out. With me here, I can guarantee that you can run out quickly. Tai Shi said. Chapter 29:67. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor did not rush Qin Yun, because the barrier was indeed very strong, and it was unrealistic for him to break it in a short period of time. Qin Yun could actually break it very quickly, but he was not sure of the situation inside. If there was something inside that he could not deal with, it would be very dangerous after he entered. Although Tai Shi could escape in a short period of time, what if he encountered something very strong? It was not that Qin Yun did not trust Tai Shi, but he had to be more cautious. He could open an entrance through the divine mirror of primal beginning, but he could not completely break the barrier. Opening the entrance was only temporary. After entering, it would close up very quickly. He now quietly opened a small entrance and placed a probing bead inside. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor used a chain to wrap around Qin Yun's neck. The chain was very long, and he was more than 10 meters away from Qin Yun. He could not see the situation inside the small space and did not notice Qin Yun's small action. The bead that Qin Yun placed in was like an eyeball, floating in the small space and allowing him to see the situation inside more clearly. After a very careful investigation, Qin Yun did not find anything like a monster, which made him even more puzzled. Because this small space could not have appeared out of nowhere, and there were so many divine universe golden stones inside. There were many divine universe golden stones inside the small space, big and small. The biggest was the size of a small hill, and the smallest was the size of a rice grain. On the ground, there were many fist-sized divine universe golden stones piled up in a thick layer. No matter how he looked at it, it did not look like it was formed naturally. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor had told Qin Yun that the divine universe golden stones inside the small space were formed naturally. Now that Qin Yun looked more carefully, he was sure that someone had moved the divine universe golden stones into the small space and those divine universe golden stones were dug out. There must be something collecting the divine universe golden stones in this area and then putting them into the small space. Qin Yun did not expect that there would be so many divine universe golden stones in this dead land, in the divine desolate. Not including the nine-sun holy ground, the dead land was the largest, and it could be said to occupy 70 to 80% of the divine desolate. If there were divine universe golden stones hidden in these dead lands, it would definitely be a very large number if they could be collected. Qin Yun began to feel curious. Just what kind of powerful fellow could collect the divine universe golden stones and store them in this small space? This small space has an owner. Qin Yun is very certain, and his strength is definitely not weak. To be able to collect so many divine universe golden stones, he would definitely be able to use them to cultivate and become stronger. He didn't find any living beings in the small space, so it was very likely that they had gone out. Just now, the Emperor of the Sun-Moon tribe had viciously attacked the mountain and created such a huge commotion. If there were any living beings in the small space, they would have come out long ago. Let's go in first. I just need to protect myself, Qin Yun said. Protecting himself is not a problem. As for the life and death of the Sun-Moon tribe's emperor, it had nothing to do with him. Qin Yun was also afraid that if the Sun-Moon tribe's emperor was suddenly killed, he would not be able to obtain anything. Sun-Moon tribe emperor, do you have the divine universe golden rock? Qin Yun suddenly asked. I need a large amount of divine universe golden rocks to be able to release even stronger power. Old man, don't try to fool me. The Sun-Moon tribe emperor shouted. You want to swindle my divine universe golden rocks, right? Qin Yun sighed. If you want to be faster, you'll need a large amount of divine universe golden rocks. If you don't want to, you can only let my tool absorb enough energy by itself. This might take a few months. Can your broken tool really break the barrier? The Sun-Moon tribe emperor said in disbelief and flew over. It can't break the barrier, but it can temporarily make a crack appear on the barrier. After a period of time, the crack will close again. Qin Yun said, If you don't believe me, I will make a very small hole for you to see. Qin Yun activated the primal beginning divine mirror and made a hole the size of a finger. Then a small stone can be stuffed in. The Sun-Moon tribe emperor used his finger to poke the hole and found that it could indeed go through the barrier. This made him very excited. But after a while, the hole closed again. There is not enough energy to make a bigger hole, so I need a large amount of divine universe golden rocks. Qin Yun said. How much? The Sun-Moon tribe emperor asked coldly. I need 10 billion. Qin Yun wanted to say a bigger number, but he was afraid that the Sun-Moon tribe emperor did not have enough. After all, not everyone had a spatial storage divine tool that could store 10 billion divine universe golden rocks. He was also worried that the Sun-Moon tribe emperor did not have enough divine universe golden rocks. Seeing the Sun-Moon tribe emperor's face gradually turn gloomy, Qin Yun said again, If we can go in, we will get more than 10 billion divine universe golden rocks. The small space was not big, but there was a lot of divine universe golden rocks in it. It was impossible to estimate how many there were, but it must be more than 200 billion. If you don't have enough, go back and get more. It will be faster, Qin Yun said. In his opinion, after entering the small space, the Sun-Moon tribe emperor would be finished. Once the Sun-Moon tribe emperor was finished, Qin Yun would not get anything. He had planned to control the Sun-Moon tribe emperor and exploit him. Now that the Sun-Moon tribe emperor wanted to die, Qin Yun would not stop him. Do you look down on me that much? Of course I have 10 billion. I carry it with me. The Sun-Moon tribe emperor snorted. I am the supervisor of the heavenly court. How can I not have 10 billion divine universe golden rocks? Generally speaking, being able to carry 10 billion divine universe golden rocks with him was a sign of strength and status. The Sun-Moon tribe emperor was very unhappy with Qin Yun's disdainful look and Qin Yun telling him to go back and get more. Is that so? That's great. Qin Yun laughed. Let's start now. Take out the divine universe golden rocks and let me put them into my equipment. Actually, to pass through that enchantment, One did not need to expend many divine universe golden stones. Just 1 or 200 million was enough. If you're trying to trick me and cheat me of my divine universe golden rocks, I will make you regret coming to this world. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor gritted his teeth and said fiercely. Qin Yin smiled faintly. In his opinion, after entering the small space, the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor was no different from a dead man. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor used a box to store 10 million at a time. He had to do this many times before he could store 10 billion. Qin Yin did not say a word because it was for the best. If large numbers of divine universe gold stones were exposed, it might even lure out the pocket space's lord. When the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor took out the divine universe golden rock, he wore a smug look and sneered, "Old man, did you look down on me previously? Do you think I don't have such a big storage artifact?" Race M. Chapter 2968. Qin Yin really looked down on the Sun Moon Emperor, otherwise he would not have asked him for 10 billion divine universe golden stones. Qin Yin was indeed surprised that the Sun Moon Tribe's Emperor had such a large storage divine item that contained 10 billion divine universe golden stones. "No, I'm just worried that you will not believe me and will not give me the divine universe golden stones. If that happens, we will need a long time to enter the small space." Qin Yin said. "How many divine universe golden stones are in the small space?" the Sun Moon Emperor said. "About 500 billion. Qin Yin also estimated in a big way. "Ha ha ha. Very good, very good." The Sun Moon Emperor laughed loudly. To him, this is a large amount of divine universe golden stones. Although he has some divine universe golden stones in his hands, Great Divine Lord has a tight control over them. The amount of divine universe golden stone he transferred to Xiao Yuanmei is precisely the amount he dug out with great difficulty and secretly saved up. If not for Great Divine Lord's strict control, he would have been able to get a lot of divine universe golden stones with his power in the heavenly court. Sun Moon Emperor, after entering the small space, "You won't kill me, right?" Qin Yin suddenly asked. "You are a useful guy. I won't kill you, but if you want to live, you will have to sign a soul contract with me. Become my dog, and I will let you live, and I will not mistreat you in the future." The Sun Moon Emperor said. "But what about you, Xieji? If she knows about this, she will definitely not let you off." Qin Yin said. If he said that he would let others be his dog, they would definitely be abused in the future. Even a fool would not believe that he would not mistreat her. What are you afraid of? If you don't say it, I don't say it. How will she know? I also want you to hide beside her and help me collect information. The Sun Moon Emperor said with a sinister smile. Honestly, since you agreed to come with me, I have decided to take you as my dog. Qin Yin pretended to be very serious about collecting the divine universe golden stones. What made him feel funny was that he also wanted to enslave the Sun Moon Emperor. "You old bastard, don't you come out often? Don't you know how sinister people are? Therefore, you can't blame me for being defeated by me. You can only blame yourself for being too naive and being defenseless against me. You came to me on your own accord." The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor laughed. Qin Yin was speechless. The Sun Moon Tribe's Emperor was truly a shameless person. To think that he could say such words with such confidence. Qin Yin only smiled and thought to himself, "Wait and see how you die." Qin Yin, who has seen many strange things, is not surprised by this. He is now paying attention to the movements in his surroundings. He is worried that something will suddenly jump out. After working for half a day, Qin Yin finally finished collecting the divine universe golden stones that the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor had given him. To test the waters, he even asked the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor to give him 1 billion divine universe golden stones. This caused the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor to curse, but he still took out 1 billion divine universe golden stones and gave it to Qin Yin. When Qin Yin saw that it was about time, he had the divine mirror of primordial beginning release an even stronger power and attack the entrance of the small space. Not long after, a crack slowly appeared on the spirit formation at the entrance. What made Qin Yin feel strange was that the owner of the small space did not appear during this period of time. He had thought that it would appear because when the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor gave him the divine universe golden stones, He had exposed many energy waves of the divine universe golden stones. It's finally open. Qin Yun wiped the sweat off his face and said, Sun Moon Tribe Emperor, do you want to go in first, or should I go in first? After the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor shortened the chain, he said, I will go in first, and then I will pull you in. Up to you. Qin Yun nodded. He was surprised. He thought that the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor would let him in first. After all, it was hard to know if there was any danger inside. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor immediately dashed out and entered through the crack in the spirit formation. Qin Yun purposely made the crack small so that only one person could go out. The moment the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor dashed out, Qin Yun immediately took out the Heaven's Divine Saber and cut the chain. The chain was quite strong. If Qin Yun did not have the Heaven's Divine Saber, it would not have been so easy to cut. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor wanted to pull Qin Yun in, but after using a lot of strength, he pulled in a broken chain. At the same time, Qin Yun activated the Divine Mirror of Taishu to close the crack in the spirit formation. Old bastard, you mother asterisker. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor scolded angrily. He rushed towards the spirit formation and attacked it crazily. Qin Yun stood outside the spirit formation and was very close to the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. However, there's a transparent spirit formation between them. Io, there's a problem. Why did the crack in the spirit formation close so quickly? Qin Yun pretended to be very anxious and said, Sun Moon Tribe Emperor, don't worry. I will start now, and I will definitely open it. Just wait patiently. You old man, you must be doing this on purpose. CK, let me out. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor scolded angrily. Qin Yun continued to use the Divine Mirror of Taishu to illuminate the crack in the spirit formation. He had originally planned to go in with the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. However, since the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor had gone first, he immediately changed his plan. Qin Yun had tried to enter the spirit formation before, and the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor was restricted. Now that the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor was trapped inside, Qin Yun was very happy. He stood outside the spirit formation and looked at the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor jumping up and down as if he was looking at a crazy monkey. Old bastard, stop pretending. When I get out, I will definitely cut you into 8 pieces. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor scolded angrily. Qin Yun smiled and slowly loosened the chain around his neck. He said with a smile, Sun Moon Tribe Emperor, didn't you say that you want to enslave me like a dog? Now that you are trapped inside, how are you going to enslave me in the future? You dog slave, hurry up and let your master out. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor shouted until his throat was hoarse. He finally knew how long he had been fooled. Because Qin Yun could easily cut the chain, it meant that he could have escaped. However, Qin Yun had pretended to beg for mercy and even asked for 11 billion Divine Universe golden stones. You interfered with my signal device from the beginning, and you still dare to deny it. You old bastard, when I get out, I will kill you. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor became angrier the more he thought about it. I really did not interfere with your signal device. To tell you the truth, the Divine Universe golden stones in this small space have an owner, and the person who collected them is very strong. I'm not sure if he is a human or a beast. Qin Yun said with a smile. The only thing I'm sure of is that your signal device was destroyed by that guy. If you don't believe me, take out the detector and see. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor shivered and quickly took out a disc. Sure enough, the detector had a reaction. The signal device was inside the small space, and it must have been picked up by someone. Seeing the reaction from the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's detector, Qin Yun was not surprised at all. He said with a smile, I should be able to see who it is very soon. Qin Yun did not dare to go in and take away the Divine Universe golden stones. He was worried that the owner of the small space had a special ability that could track the Divine Universe golden stones. Race. Chapter 2969. In the small space, the Sun Moon Emperor cursed Qin Yun crazily. After all, he was a third-level divine space realm cultivator. No matter how much he scolded, he would not be tired. And Qin Yun did not care, because he already had a great advantage. The more he did not care, and the more he smiled, the angrier the Sun Moon Emperor became. Qin Yun did not do anything. Just standing there and smiling at the Sun Moon Emperor was enough to make the Sun Moon Emperor explode. My master is the great divine king. On the way, you should have understood how terrifying my master is, right? He will be the ruler of the divine desolate. If I am being schemed against here, he will definitely know. The Sun Moon Emperor knew that scolding Qin Yun was useless and suddenly thought of his master. Qin Yun smiled and said, "You finally thought of your master now? After you discovered this small space, why didn't you think of bringing your master here? I think you are afraid that the divine universe golden stones in this small space will be taken by the great divine king. Bastard, I am not you. Don't think of me as that kind of person. Only despicable fellows like you always think of others badly." Even now, the Sun Moon Emperor did not dare to admit why he did not tell this matter to the great divine king. But seeing that the Sun Moon Emperor was truly afraid of the great divine king in his heart, he did not dare to offend him on the surface. Qin Yun smiled and said, "In that case, your Sun Moon Emperor is a person who is inexperienced? It seems that you rarely come out, so you do not know how sinister people are. That is why you fell into my hands. You can't blame me. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for not being on guard against me." When the Sun Emperor heard this, he immediately flew into a rage because he was the one who had said the same thing to Qin Yun. Qin Wen-yun saw the Sun Moon Emperor's angry expression. She could not help but laugh out loud. Too, the Sun Emperor was so angry that his face almost deformed. He could only curse Qin Yun. Other than cursing Qin Yun, there was nothing else he could do. "Do you want me to tell the great divine king now and let him come here to save you? I could think of a way to contact him." Qin Yun smiled and said, "I really want to know how the great divine king will react when he finds out that his disciple has made a fortune behind his back." "Shut up. What benefits do you want for you to let me go?" The Sun Moon Emperor suddenly panicked and shouted, "There are so many divine universe golden stones in the small space. I can't take that much by myself. Let's split it 30, 70. 370? Who is third and who is seventh?" asked Qin Yun. "I will take 7 and you take 3. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor said, "What do you think? I didn't intend to give it to you, and you should know that you're going to be my lackey. I'm parting you now." Yin found it funny. The Sun Moon Tribe was already in the capital city, and yet they were still saying such brainless words. "It seems like you are not afraid of the consequences," Qin Yun said with a smile. "If you tell my master, what do you think you'll get once he comes here? Didn't you say so? This small space had an owner, and that owner was very strong. Before the master of the pocket space returns, you and I will join hands and take away all the divine universe goldstones. This is what we should do. Moreover, it is also very beneficial to us." The Sun Moon Tribe's emperor was now a little weak. Otherwise, he would not have said such words. Qin Yun said, "I don't trust you. Therefore, I will not cooperate with you. Moreover, it is not like I did not get anything. I got 11 billion divine universe goldstones from you and 30 billion that you gave to Yu Xieji. I actually made a profit." Speaking of these two matters, the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's anger suddenly flared up, and he wished he could tear Qin Yun to pieces. "There are hundreds of billions of divine universe goldstones in the small space. We will split them 50-50. That way, you will get at least 200 billion. As long as you let me out, everything is negotiable," the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor said. He was also afraid that the master of the small space would come back. Qin Yun shook her head and said, "Look at these divine universe goldstones. They were collected from different places. I think he must have found them in the depths of the land of death. Do you think you can steal the divine universe metal stones from the vast land of death?" The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor thought carefully and realized that the master of the small space must have a way to track down the divine universe goldstones. If so many divine universe goldstones were stolen, the master of the small space would definitely find the thief at all costs. It is also possible that a large group of living beings came from the Deathland to search for the divine universe goldstones. To be able to obtain so many divine universe goldstones so easily, their strength is definitely not weak. Qin Yun said, "That is why I hope that the great divine Lord can come here so that I can watch him die together with you." The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor was startled and said angrily, "My master has no enmity with you. Why do you want to harm him?" Qin Yun said with a sneer, "You will soon know why I want him dead." The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor said with a sneer, "It seems that you and Yu Xieji are a pair of dogs. Yu Xieji must have instilled a lot of hatred towards my master in you. I can understand this. After all, my master is very powerful and she is terrified." Sun Moon Tribe Emperor, after you entered the small space, you did not touch the Divine Universe Goldstones. Quickly go and touch them. Qin Yun suddenly laughed. "Maybe there will be a surprise? You sinister old man, don't try to harm me." The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor really did not dare to touch the Divine Universe Goldstones. He was afraid that something would suddenly appear and he would die here. Qin Yun did not say anything more. He floated at the entrance of the small space and quietly looked at the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor can only continuously scold Qin Yun and occasionally propose to cooperate with Qin Yun. In Qin Yun's eyes, the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor is a dead person, a trash with no value. Originally, he wanted to control the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor and help him take care of the Heavenly Court. But now it seems that the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor does not have that kind of ability. For example, the Law Enforcement Realm King and Xian Shazi have a certain level of ability. After being controlled by him, they have great value. And the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor does not have any shining point. Let Qin Yun is at a loss. If he secretly killed the Great Divine Lord, then the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor would be a very good puppet. He immediately thought that he could find someone to pretend to be the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. Previously, he made Xiao Yueme pretend to be Yu Xieji, and it was very successful. In the evening, the sky gradually darkened. The small space is still releasing intense golden light. The golden light emitted by the Divine Universe Goldstones is very strong, but it made the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor even more afraid. When night comes, people will always think of something terrible. Night fell, and the sky became completely dark. The sky above the dead land is very clear and bright. Bright stars can be seen in the night sky. When Qin Yun was admiring the stars in the night sky, he suddenly felt some movement. A burst of cold wind suddenly attacked him, and he immediately became alert. "Something is coming," Qin Yun said, and immediately disappeared. After Cloud finished speaking, she immediately disappeared. Old Wang, don't go, you damned old bastard, I will kill you." Taiyin Tribe Emperor did not finish cursing. Suddenly, his body shivered as he felt a burst of cold wind blowing on his back. That a burst of coldness instantly penetrated his body and penetrated his bones. Chapter 2970. After Qin Yun turned invisible, a white figure suddenly appeared behind the Sun Moon Tribe's Emperor. It was a humanoid being in white clothes. Her feet were off the ground, and her eyes were big and round. From judging from her appearance, she was a beautiful woman with a head of long blue hair and 2 ears like a white cat. The cat-eared lady's skin was very white, and she did not look scary on the whole. Instead, she looked very pretty. She looked like a cute little cat demon. Qin Yun could not be sure if she was a cat demon or not, because she only looked like one. Following only after that did Qin Yun notice a white tail swaying nimbly behind her. Qin Yun could not sense the aura of the small space, and he did not know the strength of the cat-eared lady. After the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor turned around, his body was still trembling. However, after he circulated his divine universe power to offset the coldness, he gradually calmed down. "So, it is a little girl. You're the owner of the small space? You don't look very strong. Ha ha ha, just in time for me to enjoy." The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor laughed sinisterly. "Little girl, come and serve me." The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor was sure that the cat-eared lady's divine universe power was very weak before he dared to say such words. Although he was curious about why the cat-eared lady suddenly appeared in the small space, he did not care about it. He only knew that the cat-eared lady was not strong. What are you?" The cat-eared lady opened her mouth, and her eyes were filled with curiosity and vigilance. There was also a tinge of innocence. When the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor heard the cat-eared lady asking him, "What am I?" he was instantly enraged. His body exploded with anger, and his clothes were torn apart. He is very dangerous, and he wants to kill you. Qin Yun suddenly appeared and shouted, "Kill me? What is killing? What is danger? Why are you leaving so quickly?" The cat-eared lady asked again like a curious baby and asked a series of questions. "Not only do I want to kill you, I also want to F***CK you. I want to torture you, little cat demon." Ha ha! The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's face was twisted as he laughed maniacally. Qin Yun immediately took out the divine mirror of Taishu and shone it at the entrance of the small space. He wanted to go in. However, at this moment, the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor had already pounced on the cat-eared lady. When the cat-eared lady saw the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor pouncing towards her, she moved her body nimbly and evaded his attack. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor had thought that he would be able to get the cat-eared lady under him. However, he did not expect to get anything. Furious, he turned around and threw a punch at the cat-eared lady. That the divine cosmos force that was filled with ruthlessness let out a beast-like roar. It was bright red, bewitching, and evil as it charged at the cat-eared woman. Cat the eared lady frowned slightly. Her pair of white, jade-like kittens moved a little. Then, she raised her jade-like hand and shot out a ray of white light. Whoosh! With a loud roar, the violent divine universe power of the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor suddenly dissipated and disappeared. Qin Yun was shocked, and the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor let out a strange scream. Qin Yun immediately stopped and did not continue opening the barrier crack. The cat-eared woman's strength was simply terrifying. She could easily block at least 2,000 divine cosmic force. "Will you try to destroy me just now?" the cat-eared woman asked with a frown. "That's right. He wants to destroy you, make you disappear forever, and then seize the divine universe goldstones inside." Qin Yun said, "Divine universe goldstones? What is it?" The cat-eared woman looked at Qin Yun and smiled. "Why do you want to change your appearance? Your original appearance is very good. Why do you want to change your appearance?" Qin Yun was even more shocked that the cat-eared woman could see through his true appearance. "Careful!" Qin Yun suddenly shouted. Cat the cat-eared woman's back was facing the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor as she spoke to Qin Yun. At that moment, the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor attacked. He once again punched out a strong fist force. At the same time, he gripped a long sword tightly and rushed at the cat-eared woman. Cat the cat-eared woman floated lightly and suddenly appeared behind the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. She frowned and said, "Why do you want to destroy me?" As the cat-eared woman spoke, her large, watery eyes suddenly flashed, and two strange ripples could be seen in the space, rushing towards the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. "Ah!" The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor immediately hugged his head and screamed. Suddenly, blood flowed out of his 7 orifices, and he rolled on the ground. Qin Yun, who was outside the small space, suddenly felt a splitting headache. That this was a very terrifying soul attack. It is mental universe power, very strong, at least 200. Taishu immediately said, "Fortunately, it was released through the barrier, otherwise your soul divine universe would have been injured." Qin Yun quickly counteracted the sharp pain from the soul divine universe. The cat-eared woman did not attack Qin Yun on purpose. She just did not notice it. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor lay on the ground and twitched, unable to fight anymore. Qin Yun did not expect that the seemingly harmless cat-eared woman would be so terrifying. "Are you okay? I just accidentally affected you," the cat-eared woman said in a self-blaming manner. As she spoke, she suddenly appeared in front of Qin Yun. This shocked Qin Yun. He did not expect that the cat-eared woman could casually pass through such a powerful space wall. I am fine." Qin Yun is somewhat frightened and secretly on guard. At this moment, he sized up the cat-eared woman from such a close distance. She looks like she is floating, her feet are off the ground, and she is wearing a very simple white animal skin dress. Qin Yun feels that this cat-eared woman has a very familiar feeling, but he is not able to tell what it is. The cat-eared woman slightly tilted her head. Her eyes are wide open as she looked at Qin Yun and curiously said, "Your true appearance is very good. Why did you turn into this? You don't look very good right now." "Ah, I have no choice. I have to deal with some bad guys. Qin Yun said. This cat-eared woman is very innocent, and he is unable to explain. Is that person inside the small space a bad guy? He wants to destroy me. People like him are all bad guys? The cat-eared woman looked at the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor inside the small space. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor wailed in grief. In his opinion, Qin Yun is the worst bad guy. And this kind of guy is very bad. You must be more careful in the future. Qin Yun is still somewhat dizzy. But he's not a bad guy. Why is he called bad guy? The cat-eared woman slightly frowned and looked at the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. Qin Yun only wants to know how this cat-eared woman came here and why she does not know anything. He wants to destroy you. Will you call him? Qin Yun asked. The Destroyer. The cat-eared woman said in low voice. I have always been avoiding the Destroyer. But he is clearly not. He is too weak. Who wants to destroy you? Qin Yun hastily asked. The cat-eared woman is so powerful. If she has to avoid him, then she must be very strong. The cat-eared woman pointed at the starry sky and said, From that place. Qin Yun finally realized that the cat-eared woman is not a living being from divine desolate, so she does not understand many things. Chapter 2971. Qin Yun looked at the small space and asked again, Are you alone? Do you have any friends or family? The cat-eared woman shook her head. They all have family and friends, but I don't. Because I am a freak. I can be your friend, Qin Yun said with smile. Really? Then can you use your original appearance? I want to see your original appearance with my own eyes. The cat-eared woman said with smile. I don't know how to change back. It was my little sister who turned me into this. I made her turn me into this. Qin Yun said. I can help you change back. The cat-eared woman said with smile. If you agree, I can start now. All right, quickly change me back, Qin Yun said with smile. The cat-eared woman extended her hands and placed them on Qin Yun's face. Suddenly, a faint white light appeared on her jade-like hands. Very soon, Qin Yun felt a warm current wrapping around his body, and then he returned to his original appearance. Inside the small space. In the small space, the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor had regained some of his consciousness. He slowly got up and saw Qin Yun standing outside the small space. He heard the cat-eared woman and Qin Yun's conversation just now. Now that he has seen Qin Yun's true appearance, he vomited blood in anger and lied down on the ground again. Yes, he knows Qin Yun. He has seen Qin Yun before. He never expected that the old Wang beside Yu Xieji would be Qin Yun. The Sun Moon Tribe Emperor already knew that the Law Enforcement Realm King and Qin Yun have joined hands, but he never expected that Yu Xieji would also join hands with Qin Yun. So beautiful. The cat-eared woman looked at Qin Yun and said with smile, Really? You're also very beautiful. Qin Yun said with smile, Can I touch your face? The cat-eared woman's hands are still on Qin Yun's face. She nodded with smile and said, Of course you can. Qin Yun extended his hand and gently touched the cat-eared woman's face. Although the cat-eared woman is very pure, she did not feel shy when she touched Qin Yun's face or Qin Yun touched her face. On the contrary, she found it very interesting. You are my friend from now on. I finally have a friend. The cat-eared woman very happily said with smile. I'm Qin Yun. What's your name? Qin Yun had previously imagined what the master of the small space would be. He had thought of powerful beasts, other creatures, or even humans. However, he had never thought that she would be such a peculiar woman. I am Maluru. We are friends from now on. You can't despise me for being weak. Maluru stretched out her hand to shake hands with Qin Yun. How could that be? Qin Yun smiled and shook hands with Malur. They don't want to be friends with me because I'm too weak. Malur looked depressed and sighed. Even my fellow disciples, sisters and sisters, they all despise me. Qin Yun was secretly surprised. Where did Miru come from? She was actually despised as weak. The Sun Moon Tribe Great Emperor felt a stab in his heart. He had actually been beaten half to death by a young lady. Furthermore, this young lady had been despised for being weak. Sometimes, they don't really dislike you. They might be envious of you, jealous of you, or for other reasons. Qin Yun patted Maluru-er's head and said with smile, I will never despise my friends. Thank you, Brother Yun. Maluru was very happy. She floated in the air and happily shouted, I have a friend. Maluru finally has a friend. Qin Yun is now sure that Maluru is a very naive girl and relaxed his vigilance. 2. The Een tribe great emperor could only blame himself. If he was not too impulsive, he would have been able to swindle this little girl. Maluru, can you take me inside to deal with that guy? Qin Yun pointed at the Sun Moon tribe great emperor and said, Leave him to me. Maluru, pulled Qin Yun's hand, and in the blink of an eye, she brought Qin Yun inside. This is the feeling of traveling through space. Qin Yun is secretly surprised. However, Maluru and Little Queen Ant are different. Little Queen Ant can enter the dark space. Qin Yun smiled at the Sun Moon tribe emperor and said, You didn't expect this, right? Qin Yun, you. Before the Sun Moon tribe emperor could finish his sentence, Qin Yun shone the divine mirror of Taishur on his head and imprisoned his soul. Fain after that, he took out the soul lost dew and dripped it into the soul of the Sun Moon tribe emperor to erase his consciousness. The Sun Moon tribe emperor was not completely dead. After all, his soul was still there, so the great divine king would not know that his disciple was finished. The body and soul that Qin Yun had left in the Sun Een tribe's great emperor were still very useful. The body and soul of the Sun Moon tribe the Arch were kept by Qin Yun, and Malur did not ask anything. To her, this seemed to be quite normal. Big Brother Yun, this is for you, eat it quickly. Malur picked up a piece of Divine Universe golden stone and handed it to Qin Yun. This eat? Qin Yun was startled and looked at Malur. Malur smiled and nodded. This is the food we rely on for survival. Golden crispy. Golden crispy? Qin Yun was alarmed. The next scene nearly caused Qin Yun's jaw to drop. Malur kneaded a small piece of Divine Universe golden stone in her hand until it became round. It seems that the white light released by her hands could soften the Divine Universe golden stone and then knead it into a round bead. Change after it became round. Malur put it in her mouth and began to chew. Her cheeks bulged, and she looked very cute. It looked like she was eating something very crispy and fragrant. Qin Yun's eyebrows twitched. This Malur actually made such a hard Divine Universe golden stone crisp. Eat it quickly. I have searched for many years to find it, and it is all here. Malur laughed. I don't eat this. Qin Yun returned the Divine Universe golden stone in his hand to Malur. Although there are many Divine Universe golden stones here, they all belong to Malur. She had worked very hard to collect them, so Qin Yun could not take them. Why? Eating this can make you stronger. Malur frowned in confusion. It can make me stronger, but I don't need to eat it, and I can't eat it. Qin Yun laughed. Big Brother Yun, then I will share some with you. You're my friend. This golden crispy should also be shared with friends. Malur very sincerely laughed. Qin Yun really needed Divine Universe golden stone now, but he could not bear to take the Divine Universe golden stone that Malur had worked very hard to collect. How did you collect it? Qin Yun asked. How about this? We will work together to collect golden crispy in the future. I know there are many places, but I don't know the exact location. Chapter 2972. Qin Yun is still not sure about Maluru's overall strength. He only knows that her mental power is very strong, at least 200. She seemed to have used her powerful mental power to attack the Sun Moon Emperor and was defeated in an instant. Qin Yun's mental power is only a few dozen. Facing Maluru's mental attack, he cannot defend at all. Maluru does not seem to be using divine space power, because Qin Yun did not sense any strong mental power from her body. Maluru, what do you plan to do with these golden crisps? Can you take them away? Qin Yun asked. Of course, this is the small bag I use to store the golden crisps. Maluru said, as long as I'm outside, keep this small bag. Qin Yun was currently in the tiny space, but he did not sense that it was a storage divine artifact. This was because it looked too naturally formed. Where did this small bag come from? Qin Yun looked at it and found that this storage divine tool is different from the ones he is familiar with. I found it here. I saw that no one is here, so I used it to store the golden crisps. I can turn this small space into a small bag. Maluru said with a smile. Qin Yun is surprised again. This is really a naturally formed space, but Maluru can turn into a bag. Maluru ability is really too terrifying. She can directly chew divine universe golden stones and also has strong mental power. This is really a very strange life form. Qin Yun can now carefully estimate how many divine universe golden stones there are inside the small space. What he saw outside is not very accurate. He found that some divine universe golden stones are not pure divine universe golden stones. Divine universe golden stones are a special kind of stone that gradually forms after absorbing enough energy. Impure divine universe golden stones have not absorbed enough energy and have not evolved. If they're dug out, they are impure. In the small space, there are many impure divine universe golden stones, especially those big ones. Only the surface layer has turned into divine universe golden stones, and the inside has not evolved. Therefore, Qin Yun carefully looked at the divine universe golden stones here and finally estimated that there are only 150 billion. Mainly those big divine universe golden stones, when seen from the outside, they thought that they have completely evolved. But after carefully looking inside, they found that those big divine universe golden stones only have the surface layer turned into gold. Therefore, the amount that Qin Yun estimated now was very different from the previous estimate outside. Malur pulled Qin Yun out and waved her hand gently. The entrance of the small space suddenly closed, and then there was a spatial fluctuation. At first, the fluctuations were very intense. As they gradually weakened, a golden ball of light appeared in the center of the fluctuations. This is my little bag. Malur stretched out her hand, and the little bag flew over and fell into her palm. Just now, Qin Yun could sense that Malur was using a very strong mental power. Lure, did you use mental power just now? Qin Yun asked. Malur sighed softly and said, I don't know how much I'm going to eat. Brother Yun, why don't you eat Golden Crispy? It's too hard. I can't bite through it. Qin Yun stroked Malur's blue hair with a smile and said, But I have other ways to cultivate mental power. Malur looked around and said in a low voice, Brother Yun, I can't come out during the day. I'm afraid. What are you afraid of? Qin Yun pulled Malur's hand and said with a smile, Don't be afraid. I will protect you. In fact, he felt that Malur was much stronger than him, mainly because her mental power was very high, and she also mastered a very strange ability. During the day, there are 6 big divine suns in the sky. I am afraid of the light of those divine suns. I am still too weak to resist the light of those divine suns. Malur said with some sadness, Brother Yun, it seems that I can't be with you. I will be a burden to you. Qin Yun was shocked. When he saw Malur before, he felt that she had a very familiar feeling. At that time, he couldn't tell why. Now that he knew that Malur was afraid of the day, he immediately thought of the group of human ghosts he encountered in the 9 Suns' Holy Land. Human ghosts are very special. They are afraid of the sun during the day, but they are very strong at night. They can easily kill and devour foreign beasts. Malur said that she is afraid of the sun, so it is very likely that she is similar to the group of human ghosts. Maybe it is the appearance of human ghosts after they cultivate a body. What made Qin Yun puzzled is that Malur must be able to sense the divine universe golden stone. Otherwise, she would not have collected so many. When Qin Yun was in the 9 Suns' Holy Land, he once asked the group of human ghosts to help him find the divine universe golden stone. However, the group of human ghosts could not sense the divine universe golden stone. Malur, in your hometown, can everyone sense the golden stone? Qin Yun wanted to know whether Malur is the evolved version of human ghosts or not. Milu shook her head and said sadly, I'm a freak. Every once in a while, I'll enter a state that allows me to sense gold. If there's one nearby, I'll be able to find it immediately, because I can always find the golden stone to eat, so they don't like me very much. They say that I always snatch it from them. Later, I don't eat it myself, and specially help them find it. After many years, the The golden stone became less and less. I can't find it, so they ignore me, and I also become weaker and weaker. What a pitiful child. Good intentions are not repaid. Qin Yun roughly understood the situation of Malheur being rejected. She is very simple. She can find the divine universe golden stone by herself, but because she eats it alone, others dislike her. Later on, she had kindly given the divine universe golden stones that she had found to others, but she hadn't really eaten them. And when she couldn't find any more divine universe golden stones, her cultivation didn't keep up, so she was naturally despised by others. Qin Yun is very angry in his heart. There is actually such a group of people who take advantage of Malheur's kindness. He suddenly understood why Malheur was so generous to share the divine universe golden stone with him. It turns out that this is her habit. Brother Yun, you won't despise me, right? I will help you find the golden stone. I can help you find a lot. I don't want any. Malheur looked worried and pulled Qin Yun's hand. Malheur, leave the golden stone in the small bag for yourself. Brother Yin will not want you. You have to eat more and become stronger. You are weak because you gave the golden stone to others and did not keep it for yourself. Qin Yin patted her head and said with a smile, Brother, I will look for the golden stone with you. After we find it, we will divide it equally. I don't want the golden stone. I will give it all to Brother Yun. Malheur also felt that Qin Yun is very good to her because no one has ever been so good to her, and even said that they will protect her. Chapter 2973. Qin Yun did not know what Maruru had experienced. He only knew that she must have been deceived by a group of evil people. What was rare was that she had always been so naive and kind, never questioning others. You found so many golden crisps. Why don't you eat more? Qin Yun held her hand and handed her a fruit. He didn't know if she liked it or not. Because my senior brothers and sisters said that if I find the golden crispy crunch, I must give it to them. If I eat too much, I'll be annoying. Sect Master also said that I'm a disciple of the Golden Universe sect. All the golden crisps that I find belong to the Golden Universe sect. Malheur took the red fruit handed over by Qin Yun, then sniffed it and exclaimed, It smells so good. What is this? Qin Yun was secretly infuriated. The Golden Universe sect had actually colluded to deceive this innocent girl. You said you were hiding from that destroyer. What's going on? Qin Yun took out another fruit and took a bite. He motioned Malheur to imitate him and take a bite of the fruit in her hand. After Lu Er saw this, she also copied Qin Yun and bit the fruit. After taking a bite, her face was filled with astonishment. Obviously, she has never eaten such a delicious thing before. Then, she didn't say anything and ate the fruit very seriously and happily. So sweet, so fragrant, so delicious. What exactly was that? Although it can't provide energy like Golden Crispy, it's very delicious. Malheur looked at Qin Yun with eager eyes, seemingly wanting to eat more. Qin Yun took out a few more and gave them to her. He said with a smile, Eat more. You can mix it with Golden Crispy. That will be even better. Malheur quickly took out several small pieces of Divine Universe Golden Stone, put one in her mouth, and then took a bite of the fruit. After she happily finished eating one, she said, The Destroyer wants to destroy me, saying that my existence has brought about a great imbalance. They surrounded the Golden Universe sect. Later, the sect leader and the others told me to go out and accept their punishment. I was terrified, so I started to run. After many years, I ended up here. In the future, there will be no Golden Universe sect. This is God desolate. There will be no destroyer here. Even if they come, Big Brother will protect you. Qin Yun's face was filled with love as he gently touched Malheur's face. Big Brother Yun, the Divine Sun here is too powerful. I still can't get used to it now. What about during the day? Can you accompany me to hide underground? Malheur was very reluctant to part with Qin Yun. No need to hide underground. I will let you go to a place that is my small space. Qin Yun planned to let Malheur enter the 9-sun divine soul. 9, although there was a Shinyu Ziyang in the first pearl of the sun god soul, that Shinyu Ziyang was still very weak. With Malheur's current strength, she would definitely be able to resist that Shinyu Ziyang. Really? Why didn't I feel anything? Where is it? Malheur asked curiously. Qin Yun told Malheur not to resist, and then sent her into the first pearl of the nine-sun divine soul. He also told Ling Yin'er to take good care of this new little sister. Mo, Yang Yang, Little Queen Ant, and Little Jade Rabbit in the nine-sun divine soul were very happy to see new friends. They surrounded Malheur and chattered nonstop. Just like this, Malheur suddenly gained a few more friends, and she can also eat a lot of delicious food. This made her very happy. Qin Yun took out the Taisher divine mirror and asked, "Big brother, where do you think Malheur came from? She seems to be different from us. It should be a different life form from you. The universe is very big. It is normal to have all kinds of strange life forms. Of course, the life forms in her hometown should be higher level than you." Taisher said, "Higher level? Is it more powerful?" Qin Yun asked. "The life forms of Divine Desolate should be middle and lower level. Above you, there are still several levels." Taisher said, "If you want to break through, the Divine Son of Divine Desolate must be strong enough, otherwise it will limit your growth. The existence of the heavenly ancient race is to limit the growth of the Divine Son. However, this also caused the heaven-opening ancient race to be restricted. Yu Yuan told Qin Yun before that their heaven-opening ancient race is restricted by some kind of power, causing their bloodline heavenly rune to be difficult to awaken. If Qin Yun helped them awaken too much, then if they were discovered, their heaven-opening ancient race would suffer a calamity." On the way back, Yin opened the group created by Xiao Yuanmei, Xiao Yuelon, and Yu Shaoling. They posted many pictures of Xiao Yuanmei dressed up as Yu Xieji in Heaven's divine moon. They very smoothly deceived many people. "I have killed the Sun Moon Tribe's emperor and let the ancient Heavenly Moon clan know that Yu Xieji is still alive. You don't have to pretend anymore. Go and do your own things," Qin Yun said with a smile. "In the future, if there is something like this, I will call you." Knowing that the Sun Moon Tribe's emperor has been killed, Xiao Yuelon and the others felt relieved. Although they knew that Qin Yun would be able to defeat the Sun Moon Tribe's emperor, they still felt worried. During this time, Yu Lifan contacted Qin Yun and asked why Qin Yun hasn't gone to find him. Previously, Qin Yun said that he wanted to find Yu Lifan. However, because the Sun Moon Tribe's emperor went to Moon Season City, he was delayed for some time. He went to find Yu Lifan because he wanted to ask about the exploration of the Divine Universe Goldstone Mine. He also wanted to ask about the taboo of the Heaven-Splitting Ancient Clan, which was what Yu Yuan had said about their Heaven-Splitting Ancient Clan being restricted. Qin Yun told Yu Lifan that he will leave for the ancient Heavenly Moon Clan after he is done with some matters. Qin Yun immediately returned to Moon Season City. On his way back, he contacted Xian Shazi and Chu Wuxing to wait for him at the Moon Season City Master's Mansion. 2 days later, Qin Yun returned to the Moon Season City Master's Mansion. Xian Shazi and Chu Wuxing have already arrived. They are waiting for Qin Yun in a spacious secret room under the City Master's Mansion. Tian Yu and Tian Rui are also here. They are hidden assassins of heavenly secrets, and their abilities are outstanding. Moreover, they have been subdued by Qin Yun, so they are valued by Xian Shazi and Chu Wuxing. After Yu Yin brought Qin Yun to the secret room, Qin Yun immediately took out the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron. The Sun Moon Tribe's emperor is imprisoned in the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron. After being thrown out by Qin Yun, he foolishly stood there motionlessly. His eyes are lifeless, as if he has lost his soul. "This boss, what happened to this guy?" Although Yin guessed it, she is not sure. "I use soul loss due on him," Qin Yun said with a smile. "This guy is not dead. He can no longer threaten us." Xian Shazi, Chu Wuxing, and Yu Yan were all threatened by Qin Yun with a soul loss due. If they did not cooperate with Qin Yun, they would have the same fate as the Sun Moon Tribe's emperor. Xian Shazi said with a smile, "Boss, I know what you want to do. Are you going to pretend to be the Sun Moon Tribe's emperor?" Tian Rui, Tian Yu, I need one of you to enter the Sun Moon Tribe's emperor's body and control it. You will act as the Sun Moon Tribe's emperor. Who is willing? Qin Yun asked. Chapter 2974. Tian Yu and Tian Ru were people Qin Yun could trust, and they were experienced assassins of the heavenly secret. They had the ability to impersonate the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. I will transfer your soul to the body of the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor and help you devour his original soul so that you can use his demon mirror, his storage magic treasure, divine universe gold card, etc. Qin Yun said. Qin Yun still did not possess the strength to defeat the Great Divine Lord. Before that, he could not let the Great Divine Lord know about his subordinates. As such, Tian Rue's mental strength was the same as the Sun Moon Tribe's emperors. Tian Rue was originally a descendant of the Divine Sun. His previous body could be considered a puppet body, so even if he changed his body now, it would not affect him much. Tian Rue's original body wasn't as strong as the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor's. Now that he had obtained the body of the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor, his strength had increased significantly. Tian Rue took out the storage device of the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor and said, "I can use it. I am now the real Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. After all, my body and soul are still here, and it will be difficult to see through my disguise." After Yu Yin saw Tian Rue, she smiled tenderly and said, "Tian Rue, you have to manage the arrogant Heavenly Court Pavilion in the future so that I can take care of this city better. That should be the treasury of the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor. The income of the Heavenly Court Pavilions and the Heavenly Court is mainly transferred to the Great Godly Lord's gold card." Qin Yun waved his hand and said, "I don't need it now. You keep it. You need to have some Divine Universe golden stones with you to disguise as the Sun Moon Tribe's Emperor." Tian Rue was now the Sun Yin Tribe Emperor and could sneak into the Heavenly Court. As long as Qin Yun killed the Great Divine King in the future, Tian Rue would be able to completely control the entire Heavenly Court. At that time, there would be even more Divine Universe golden stones. Xian Shazi and Chu Wuxing were in charge of the Heaven's Secrets Gate. The Enforcer Realm King was in charge of the Enforcer World, and Skyrake was in charge of the Heavenly Court. If they could successfully take down the Great God King in the future, all these forces could be united. The outside world didn't know about this at all. Like the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor, he was tightly controlled by the Great God Lord. From time to time, he would be squeezed by the Great God Lord. Over time, he would accumulate resentment in his heart. Although the Law Enforcement World King and Xian Shazi signed a master-servant contract with Qin Yun, they no longer hated Qin Yun. The main reason was that they obtained the benefits they deserved, and it was much better than before. Qin Yun looked inside the Nine-Sun Divine Soul and asked Ling Yuner about Malur's situation. Seeing that Malur did not reject the Nine-Sun Divine Soul, Qin Yun felt relieved. Then, from Moon Season City, he teleported to Divine Moon of Heavens. Qin Yun knew nothing about the Destroyer. He believed that Malur's original location was very far away from the Divine Wilderness, and that the Destroyer would not come over. In a mountain range of Celestial Moon, Yuli Fan's formation was in operation at all times. At this moment, the castle at the top of the mountain was enveloped by a faint white glow. The Grand Array was being activated. Last time Yusong had brought him here. At that time, this kind of barrier hadn't been activated yet. "Little Qin, it's best if you don't help the Heaven-Splitting Clan disciples awaken their bloodline heavenly patterns." Yuli Fan lowered his voice and said, "Even I don't dare to tell others that I have a group of people with heavenly runes under me. Moreover, their heavenly runes are very powerful. Of course, what Yu Yuan doesn't know is that there are people hidden in the Heaven-Splitting Ancient Clan who are watching us." Yuli Fan shook his head and said, "I thought that Yu Yuan knew about it. That's why he kept a low profile after accepting those disciples." Yuli Fan smiled and said, "So you saw through me. To be honest, I wasn't sure if the heaven-opening ancient clans were restricted, so I wanted to test it out. I never thought it would cause such a huge commotion. It was really dangerous. They can't be considered spies. They're only monitoring us to prevent us from breaking through the restriction." Yuli Fan said, "Race M." Chapter 2975. Qin Yun suddenly felt that he is in danger. Unknowingly, he has been secretly used. Then can you find the Watchers? Qin Yun asked. Qin Yun said, I keep feeling like I've been used, so you're saying that all the heaven-opening ancient clans sent people to the Imperial Heaven Sect and made such a huge commotion. Did you, the upper echelons, deliberately send people there? Qin Yun said, the other upper echelons don't know that I helped them awaken. All right, now that you want to find those Watchers, are you planning to fight against them? Qin Yun said, your heaven-opening ancient clan originally wanted to restrict the growth of Divine Sunday. If you don't want to do these things and want to become stronger, your clan will be exterminated. Weaker and weaker? Qin Yun is somewhat shocked and asked, were you originally very strong? Qin Yun is silent, as if he is thinking about something. The outsiders entered the resource-rich Nine-Sun sacred land and occupied a large amount of resources. The heaven-opening ancient clan couldn't obtain any resources and would only fall behind more and more, unless they had a large number of bloodline Heavenly Rune disciples. The heaven-opening ancient clan is now one. We will join hands and break through the restrictions no matter what. Yuli Fan has already made up his mind. He is considered one of the upper echelons of the heaven-opening ancient clan. He will definitely participate in those secret meetings. They have great divine abilities and use some technique that we don't know about. In short, they are hiding very well. We still can't discover them. Yuli Fan shook his head. The upper echelons have a very strange way of thinking. They believe that if they're not born to be upper echelons, they cannot become upper echelons and are destined to be middle or lower echelons. They will also arrange some things for the middle and lower echelons, but they will not come into contact with them. Yuli Fan said. XDW8 Yuli Fan laughed at himself. In their eyes, we are nothing. This is also a helpless action. If we don't restrict the Divine Sun, the endless growth of so many Divine Suns will definitely lead to the collapse of this universe. Moreover, if we don't do it, someone else will definitely do it. Yuli Fan said, maybe the upper echelons are also worried that the endless growth of the middle and lower echelons will threaten their environment in the future. The Nine-Sun Sacred Lands barrier can block for a period of time, so we must use this time to grow. That way, even if the barrier collapses, we will have the power to protect ourselves. I'm the God King of the Deity Desolate. I will never leave the Deity Desolate. Qin Yun very resolutely said, even if I die, I will die in Divine Desolate. This is my root, this is my life. Qin Yun took out the Divine Universe Heavenly Bone he had obtained. It weighed over 60 genes in total. Yuli Fan took out a book and said with a smile, here, take a look yourself. You will definitely be able to understand and master it. Yuli Fan shook his head and smiled. Brat, are you trying to bring me to explore the mines? I want to learn. Qin Yun chuckled and said, teach me. Give me a book. I will study by myself. Qin Yun continued to ask, unwilling to give up. If Yuli Fan still refused to teach him, then he could only reveal the fact that he cultivated the Soul God universe. Previously, in the small city where that piece of Divine Universe Black Gold was located, there were many seniors in the 8th or 9th tier of the Divine Universe realm. They should have worked together to find it. If Qin Yun were to cultivate the Divine Cosmos power, he would need 1 billion Divine Cosmos Goldstones to raise it slightly. As for whether there would be a bottleneck in the later stages, or if he would need to increase the number of Divine Cosmos Goldstones, he was still unsure. Race M. Chapter 2976. Speaking of cultivating mental power, Yuli Fan's face is filled with worry. He shook his head and said, it's very, very difficult. Sometimes I can increase it for several years. Sometimes I can increase it by tens or hundreds of points in a year. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I can be considered pretty good. Yuli Fan said, of course, Xiao Qihong is higher than me. A long time ago he had 800. Now he should be close to 1,000. Xiao Qihong has close to 1,000 points of mental power. This is indeed very powerful. Of course, according to Qin Yun's understanding of the Divine King Heavenly Seal, it is impossible to always need 1 billion divine universe golden stones to increase mental power. Maybe after a certain value, it will increase. Now he first has to study the new ability of the divine king heavenly seal. It took him 100 billion to evolve it. Old brother Taishur, what is the new ability of the divine king heavenly seal? It hasn't appeared yet? Qin Yun asked anxiously. Qin Yun is very puzzled. He once again suspects that the new ability of the divine king heavenly seal is controlled by Taishur. He only has this suspicion, but did not ask. Qin Yun waited in the basement for 2 days, and the new ability of the divine king heavenly seal finally appeared. Qin Yun doesn't know if he is happy or sad because he definitely needs divine universe golden stones. Although his palms can cultivate the divine universe heavenly bone, he still needs to absorb divine universe golden stones through the divine king heavenly seal. Any part of the body? Qin Yun said with a mischievous smile. That's great. Roughly how many divine universe golden stones is needed to activate one part? Qin Yun is somewhat excited. Even though he knows that he needs a large amount of divine universe golden stones, he is still in high spirits. Qin Yun heard Taishur's words, and his heart dripped blood. It made him suspect that Taishur needs a large amount of divine universe golden stones. Palms are small part, 50 billion for a small part. Palms are 100 billion. Taishur said, the effect of refining the divine universe heavenly bone in palms is very obvious. It can make the divine universe power erupt even higher. Activation is more difficult, so it needs more divine universe golden stones. Taishur said, the 3 basic stages of forming the divine universe heavenly bone are awakening, tempering, and strengthening. Each stage requires a large amount of divine universe golden stones. Then, Qin Yun began to use the God King heavenly seal to temper his right palm's divine universe heavenly bone. This required him to temper all 4 of his fingers into a heavenly divine universe bone. There was still the palm bone that he hadn't completed, as well as the palm bone and pinky bone that he hadn't completed. He still needed 30 billion divine universe gold stones to completely transform his entire palm into a heavenly divine universe bone. After Xiao Yuanmei transferred it to Qin Yun, he left the Imperial Heaven sect and went to a large city in Divine Moon of Heavens to collect it. He guessed that there were at least hundreds of billions of divine universe metal stones in this underground vault, and it was extremely likely that they had all been dug out from the divine moon of the heavens. Qin Yun couldn't care less. He just wanted to quickly temper his entire palm into a divine universe heavenly bone. After Qin Yun returned, he used 3 days to transform his entire right palm into a divine universe heavenly bone. When Qin Yun stepped into the second firmament of the divine space realm, he could also cultivate the cosmic explosion divine art to the second level. Multiplied burst was a piece of cake for him, but now he could slow down this situation. Moreover, even if he didn't use a weapon, he could directly use his palm that had cultivated the divine universe heavenly bone to possess a similarly formidable might. Qin Yun met Malur and planned to enter the 9-Sun Holy Land with her to explore the golden stone mines. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to continue cultivating. According to the information he obtained during this period of time, the 9-Sun Holy Land is becoming more and more dangerous. Outer universe humans are frequently moving about. Even a 5th or 6th level divine space realm instructor has to be very careful when entering the 9-Sun Holy Land. Clan. Chapter 2977. Qin Yun made several imperial heavenly talismans and told Xiao Yuelan and the others that he would be entering the 9-Sun sacred land for a period of time. He would return before the great divine king came to ask for the divine universe golden stone. The great godly lord had previously sent the Sun Moon Tribe Emperor to Moon Season City to get Yu Sheji to gather 100 billion divine universe golden stones within 3 months. Once the time was up, the great godly lord would definitely appear personally. Qin Yun also instructed Xian Sha and company to be careful and not expose themselves. The current Sun Moon Tribe Emperor was Tian Rue, and he had already gone to the heavenly court. Qin Yun was still worried that he would be exposed, so he reminded him to be careful and escape immediately if he was discovered. Qin Yun did not tell Yuan and the others that he was going to the Nine Suns' sacred ground to prevent them from worrying. It was still quite dangerous to head to the Nine Suns' sacred ground, but Qin Yun believed that he was strong enough to protect himself. As long as he did not venture too deep, he would not be in any danger. The outer region of the Nine Suns' sacred ground was huge, and the humans and creatures from the outer universe were limited. It was impossible for them to occupy the entire outer region. He had previously learned from Yuan that it would take a long time to fully develop the outer regions. Therefore, even if the Nine Suns' sacred ground had an increasing number of extraterrestrials, the heaven-splitting ancient clan would still be able to obtain a lot of resources from the Nine Suns' sacred ground. The passageways into the Nine Suns' sacred ground were controlled by the various heaven-opening ancient clans. Anyone who wanted to enter would need their permission. Qin Yun didn't want to complicate matters, so he decided to let the little ant queen bring him in through the dark space. The little queen ant's spatial power is getting stronger and stronger. Although she can't use any power in battle, the spatial power she grasps can be of great help to Qin Yun. The Heaven Imperial Gate was very close to the Nine Suns' sacred grounds barrier. Qin Yun sneaked out at night and flew straight to the Nine Suns' sacred grounds barrier. In order to strengthen this barrier, the Myriad Realms' divine sun had to concentrate most of its energy in the Nine Suns' sacred ground. After Qin Yun approached the barrier and confirmed that there was no one nearby, he let the little ant queen come out and bring him into the dark space. After entering the dark space for a while, the little ant queen brought Qin Yun out. This way, they could smoothly pass through the thick and powerful barrier. Qin Yun once again entered the Nine Suns' sacred land. He was now in the outer region, which was a relatively safe area. However, as the aliens continued to enter the Nine Suns' sacred ground through the passage, even the outer districts might encounter aliens. Beasts and beastmen were the most common species in the outerverse, and now, batches of them were pouring into the holy land of Nine Suns. Their numbers were much higher than those of the outerverse. Fortunately, they were not very powerful, and as long as they were careful, they could still deal with them. Qin Yun looked at the divine moon in the night sky and could not help but recall the scene when he left the Nine Suns' sacred ground. In order to protect everyone, those powerful elders had no choice but to make sacrifices in the end. Whether or not their souls were still there, no one could be sure. They all hoped that their souls hadn't been destroyed. After entering the Nine Suns' sacred land, I can only rely on myself. Qin Yun is currently unable to borrow the power of the Myriad Realms' divine Sunday. Ever since he left the sixth divine sun, he had been unable to contact the Nine Suns' lost spirit. This made him very unhappy. After the Nine Yang Dharma spirit finished using him, it didn't bother with him anymore. It was very heartless. Qin Yun came here mainly to find a mine and see if he could take it away. The interior space of his Nine Yang divine spirit was very large. Currently, he had already opened 7 pearls. The first pearl was mainly for Mo and Yang to survive. As for the other pearls, they had environments for growing medicinal herbs or large warehouses. However, there were still a few that were very empty. If he found a mine, he would cut the entire piece of land and then move it into the Nine Sun divine spirit to take it away. When he returned, he would refine some tools or puppets. He would dig out the divine universe goldstones from that piece of land. Every pearl of Qin Yun's Nine Sun divine spirit could contain divine Sunday. It was like a small world. Storing a large piece of land inside was not a problem at all. After passing through the Nine Suns' sacred lands barrier, Qin Yun looked ahead and immediately felt at a loss. He had no idea how to find the Divine Universe Goldstone mine. There were many Divine Universe Goldstones in the Nine Suns' sacred land, but they were all buried very deep. Without certain methods, it was impossible to find them. Although there were many mines in the Nine Suns' sacred land, it was not easy to find them. Many was only compared to the outside world. Moreover, in the Nine Suns' sacred land, Only the heavens-splitting ancient clan had the ability to find them. Qinyan bent down and grabbed a handful of soil. The soil here was better than outside the barrier. Inside the nine-sun divine spirit, Milior is not afraid of the divine universe purple Sunday. The main reason is that the divine universe purple sun is not strong. Qinyan has already obtained the divine sun cultivation method, but he still doesn't know how to cultivate it. He only knows that in order to make the divine sun stronger, he needs to obtain energy from the universe. The nine-sun law spirit told Qinyan that if he simultaneously obtained energy from multiple universes, he would be able to make the divine sun stronger even faster. Qinyan greeted Milior and then let her come out. After Milior came out, she let out a cry of surprise. "Brother Yun, where is this place? Why do I feel that there is a relatively strong energy here?" It must be during the day when the divine sun gathered a lot of energy and shone it here. This is the nine-sun sacred land. Compared to the outside, there should be even more gold. Qinyan said with smile. "Milior, can you sense gold on the ground now?" After Milior came to the heavens divine desolate, she has never left that land of death. If she can find so many divine universe golden stones in that land of death, then it is possible that she can find a large mine in the nine-sun sacred land. I can't sense it now. I can only sense golden crispy every once in a while, but I also need to be close to golden crispy. I can only sense it within a certain range. Malur said. Then how did you find the gold in your small bag? Qinyan asked. I have been collecting for many years. I also don't remember how many years I have been in the heavens divine desolate. I often walk underground. I can jump through space and then follow my senses to find it. Milior looked at the heavens divine moon and said again, Brother Yun, wait for my feeling to come. I will immediately tell you. Heaven's divine desolate has been formed for a period of time. Qinyan also doesn't know when Milior came to the heavens divine desolate. She also doesn't know, but it is certain that she spent a very long time alone. After Qinyan told Milior to go back, he flew close to the ground and then recalled the book Yulifan gave him. The book has a lot of experience in exploring the divine universe golden stone mine. Yulifan was once a member of the exploration team. He can be considered as a very experienced veteran, but he was still unable to explore the mine by himself. According to the book, I need to observe the sky and earth, sense the heavenly power and earthly energy to determine where the divine universe golden stone mine might be formed. Qinyan took out the book, floated in the air, and began seriously studying it. Race. Chapter 2978. The contents of the booklet were the summaries of the experiences of many seniors. For example, sensing the heavens' power and earthly chi required at least 60 mental units. As long as one had 60 mental units, they could sense the heavens' power described in the booklet. Qinyan still did not know what the heavens' power was like. He only knew that if he released 60 mental units, he would receive a feedback if he was in the region of the heavens' power. If there was no feedback, he was not in the region of the heavens' power. The heavens' power covered a large area. If one wanted to shrink the area, they needed to sense earthly chi. This also required releasing 60 mental units in one go. After sensing earthly chi, one would only shrink the area, but it would allow one to explore a large area. The formation of divine universe goldstone was the result of the earth absorbing energy from the sky and then condensing it into energy crystals deep underground. That was divine universe goldstone. Divine universe metal stones couldn't be condensed in just any region's depths. Some underground areas, due to special circumstances, had natural array formations when the earth was formed, where there was a lot of energy in underground rivers. These were more suitable for condensing divine universe goldstone. The heavens' power was the area in the sky where the most energy was gathered. It would cover a large area. Because of special reasons, deep underground areas could absorb energy from the sky. When absorbing, it would produce earthly chi. A vast piece of land would absorb energy from the air at the same time. The absorption process was very slow, silent, and would not cause any commotion. After a long time, The land would gather the absorbed energy in one spot and condense it into crystals, forming a divine universe goldstone mine. Qin Yun read the booklet again and knew why mining required teamwork. What's more, they had to be at least at the 8th or 9th level of the divine universe realm. First of all, only those at the 8th or 9th level of the divine universe realm could pass the test of mental power. Another reason was that only experts of this level dared to move around in more dangerous areas. Generally speaking, areas with divine universe goldstone were more dangerous. Most divine universe goldstone mines would form a perilous zone for self-protection or because of powerful beasts. Divine universe goldstone mines in the Nine Suns sacred ground could also be discovered by extraterrestrial life forms. Therefore, when mining, one needed to have great strength to protect themselves. Otherwise, they would be courting death. In addition, if many experts worked together, their own safety would be guaranteed after they spread out, and they would be able to expand their range of sensing the power of the heavens. When one person sensed the heavenly force, they would enter the area where the heavenly force was located. With many people working together to sense the earth and chi, they would quickly narrow down the area. Finally, they could borrow tools or spread out to search for treasure lands or dangerous areas in the earth energy region. From there, they could determine the location of the divine universe metal mine and find it in a short period of time. Divine universe metal, ores that were found using this method, were usually large ores. In the outerverse, this method would work just as well. There was a huge piece of divine universe black gold in the small city near the depths. According to the description in the booklet, the earth chi that the divine universe black gold was in was very strong and covered a very wide area. Yuli Fan found out about it later and added it to the booklet. He did not personally participate in the exploration. Mine exploration is truly complicated. Sure enough, it's not something a single person can do. Qin Yun's mental power is only 50, not even 60. He believes that he is different from others and that he can explore with only 50 mental power, so he came to give it a try. Of course, he hasn't started yet, because he doesn't know if he can sense the heavenly force or not. If his mental power is not enough, he won't be able to sense the heavenly force even if he runs around. Let's go to the underground city first. There is usually a small mine near the underground city. This means that I can definitely sense the heavenly force and earth and chi there. Qin Yun remembered the location of the underground city he went to last time, so he adjusted his direction and flew over. When he flew over, he took out Siakaru, Yushi, and Yution's soul-chasing talismans. Bing Xing said that they have entered the Nine-Sun Holy Land. It was the Nine-Sun Lost Spirit who let them in. However, after Qin Yun took out the soul-chasing talismans, he did not sense them. The soul-chasing talismans did not react, meaning that they are not in the Nine-Sun Holy Land, or in other words, they are in another space. Where are they? If they have entered the Nine-Sun Holy Land, does that mean they found a small space in the Holy Land? Qin Yun also came to the Nine-Sun Holy Land to find them. He suddenly thought, could Siakiru and the other two have gone to the outer verse through the passage at the center of the Nine-Sun Holy Land? However, this matter can only be confirmed by asking the Nine-Sun Lost Spirit. Qin Yun took out the Divine King Heavenly Seal again and frantically called out to the Nine-Sun Lost Spirit, but there is no response at all. Nine-Sun Lost Spirit, that rotten thing, the next time it comes looking for me, I will definitely scold it to death. If something happens, it comes looking for me and even uses the Nine-Sun Divine Maiden to threaten me to work for it. Now it's fine, no matter how much I shout, it doesn't respond. Qin Yun really wished that the Nine-Sun Lost Spirit had a body so that he could ruthlessly beat it up in the future. What made Qin Yun the most angry is that he believes that the Nine-Sun Lost Spirit can definitely hear his shouts, but it deliberately did not respond. The underground city is still near the barrier. It will only take half a day to fly there. Qin Yun is now flying alone. He has nothing to fear, so his flying speed is very fast. This will allow him to reach the underground city even faster. After half a day, Qin Yun arrived at the location of the underground city, but he did not find it. There should have been a group of mountains here, but now it has become flat ground. Moreover, there is a huge crater at the location of the mountain where the entrance to the underground city is located. The underground city has been discovered and attacked. In the end, a great battle broke out, causing the surrounding mountains to be flattened. Where are the people of the underground city? Qin Yun floated high in the sky and looked down at the huge crater below. His expression gradually turned grave. Before he entered the Nine Suns sacred land, he had gathered information about the underground city, but he never knew that the underground city had been destroyed. If the underground city was destroyed and this matter did not spread out, it was very likely that everyone in the underground city had died and the outside world did not know about it. Qin Yun could not help but clench his fists. To him, those who died were all his compatriots. Although the heaven-opening race was the leader, they were all in the same universe as him. They all stood on the same side to resist the invasion of the outer universe creatures. But now, they were all buried here. This caused Qin Yun to feel endless grief and indignation. It is very likely that a powerful outer universe person took action. Taisher guessed, after seeing the huge crater below, through the divine mirror of ancient beginning. Before Qin Yun came in, he had gathered information about the Nine Suns sacred land. Indeed, he knew that the Nine Suns sacred land was becoming more and more dangerous. However, he did not expect that even the underground city at the edge would be destroyed. Clan. Chapter 2979. Qin Yun is still unable to confirm whether the underground city was destroyed by the aliens or not, but from the looks of the scene, it is very likely. Because this kind of destruction does not seem to be the behavior of the beastmen and beasts from the outer universe. The edge of the Nine Sun Holy Land is no longer safe. I wonder if the heaven-opening ancient race knows about this. Qin Yun wanted to sense the remnant aura to see if he could find the experts of the heaven-opening ancient race. However, he could not sense anything. It is as if all the aura here has been blown away after the great battle. Qin Yun descended and arrived at the center of the huge crater. Then he released his mental power and opened his heavenly eye to sense the remnant aura in the surroundings, trying to find something. He wanted to understand the situation here. He wanted to know what exactly destroyed the underground city. But however, after a careful investigation, he did not find anything. After the great battle, this area is very clean. He did not find any fragments, not even fragments of weapons and protective equipment. The materials used to build the underground city are also gone. Earth, the underground city, is an underground city, but now it has been completely destroyed. There is only this huge crater. It is very likely that the explosive power was too strong and destroyed everything. We didn't find anything, Taisher said. Qin Yun used the divine mirror of primal beginning to illuminate the surroundings. Taisher also did not sense any aura. Did the heaven-opening ancient race do this? After they retreated, they destroyed this place? Qin Yun suddenly thought of this possibility. There is no need to destroy it. You saw before, the destroyed area is very large. There were originally many huge mountains nearby, but now not a single one can be seen. There was originally an underground city, but it has been destroyed like this. Taisher said, there is no need for the heaven-opening ancient race to make such a commotion. Qin Yun sighed and said, it seems like this underground city has truly been attacked. I wonder if they have escaped or not. We can look around and see if there are any clues. Taisher said, there should be golden stone mines near the underground city. Now that this kind of battle has occurred, I wonder if the heavenly power and earth energy are still there. Qin Yun looked at the sky. It is almost daybreak. The heavenly power should still be there, but the earth energy might be gone. This kind of destructive power is enough to cause the formation formed deep underground to lose its power. Taisher said, if the heavenly power is still there, Qin Yun can still test whether he can sense the heavenly power or not. Deng, however, he is not sure whether this area is covered by the heavenly power or not. Such as if that wasn't the case, then there was no point in him taking the test. Give it a try. Although you lack 10 points of mental energy, your situation is a bit special. You have the mental nethermoon and the divine moondao image. Taisher said, since the sky is not bright yet, the divine moon is still in the sky. This might be able to strengthen your perception of the heavens. The celestial god moon was still in the sky. Qinyan looked up at the celestial god moon and took a deep breath. He released all of his mental power. Released the moment he released his mental power, he immediately felt as if something was descending from the sky. He couldn't see it, but he could feel it. It was a very strange feeling. Don't tell me this is heaven's power? Qinyan looked around. That feeling only lasted for an instant. He had already used up all of his mental energy, causing him to be slightly dispirited. However, this did not affect him. But he used the Godly King Heavenly Seal to replenish his mental energy, but he used up quite a lot of Divine Universe Goldstones. He needed 1 million to replenish it. Qinyan only had 50 points of mental energy, so he needed 50 million to fully replenish it. He could still afford it. Under normal circumstances, he rarely used his mental energy. Even if he used it, he would not release it all in one go. For example, when he used the heavenly eye to use the fortune viewing technique, he only condensed his mental energy in his eyes. Although he concentrated all of his mental energy in his eyes, as long as he did not leave his body, he would not lose all of it. Only along with the circulation, it would be gradually consumed. At most, it would be a few points that he could recover on his own. Just like that. Now, this is the first time Qinyan used up all of his mental energy in one go and released it all. Good. It was effective and allowed him to sense what the heavens' power was. And next is the earth energy. To sense the earth energy, I need to release my mental energy towards the earth. After Qinyan recovered all of his mental energy, he stood in the middle of the deep pit and released all of his mental energy towards the earth. Release after releasing it, he only felt that his mental energy became a bit worse, and then he didn't feel anything else. Sensing the earth energy is almost the same as sensing the heavens' power. If there is earth energy, he will receive a feedback, but the feeling of receiving the feedback is somewhat different. Qinyan doesn't feel anything now. It means that he can't sense the earth energy. Could it be that there is no earth energy here? Qinyan said with a frown. Or is it that my mental energy is not enough? Taisher said, you can increase your mental energy to 60. You now have 50, 1 billion to increase the upper limit by 1 point. Increasing it by 10 points will only require 10 billion Divine Universe Golden Stones. Qinyan only has less than 5 billion Divine Universe Golden Stones in his hands. If he needs it, he can only borrow it from Malheur. He previously said that he didn't want Malheur's Divine Universe Golden Stones. Now that he needs it, he is somewhat embarrassed to ask. Wait until you find the ore, then return it to Malheur. She is a kind and pure girl. You really shouldn't want the Divine Universe Golden Stones that she worked so hard to find. But you're only borrowing it from her. It's not like you won't return it to her. Taisher said, Qinyan is thinking about Malheur. He has been alone for many years, enduring loneliness and loneliness, wholeheartedly searching for Divine Universe Golden Stones. Moreover, he is reluctant to eat more, so his heart aches for her. She is very happy now. It is enough for her. Moreover, she can't eat so many Divine Universe Golden Stones in a short time. Taisher said, after you increase your mental energy, it will allow you to sense the heavens' power and earth energy faster. When the time comes, let Malheur lock onto the exact location, and you will be able to find the golden stone ore. Qinyan sighed and said, all right, I will definitely return it to her. Now the sky is about to brighten. Qinyan first distanced himself from the huge pit, then found a large mountain, opened a very large cave, and let Malheur come out. Malheur, I need some golden crisps. Can you lend me some? I will return it to you later. When Qinyan let Malheur come out, she is holding a dazzling golden fruit in her hand. What do you mean? Malheur thought about it. She seems like she really doesn't know. That's right. First give me some golden crisps. When I find it later, I will return it to you. Qinyan said with a smile. This is called returning what you borrowed. Big brother Yun, I will give it to you. You don't need to return it to me. Malur raised the fruit in her hand and said with smile, "These divine fruits are much more delicious than golden crisps." Malur has been with Yang Yang and others all day long. She has gradually become a foodie. Chapter 2980. Maluru is very happy now because she has sincere friends and she can taste a lot of delicious food. Qin Yun is also protecting her. It can be said that she is carefree. She said that she has never been so happy before. She knowing that Qin Yun wants divine universe golden stones, she immediately took out the small bag. Mountain very quickly, a golden crack appeared in the cave. It is the small space that Maluru took away. She brought Qin Yun inside and let him take the divine universe golden stones. Qin Yun took away 10 billion and let Maluru bring him out. Big brother Yun, there is still a lot here. Maluru saw that Qin Yun did not take away many divine universe golden stones and felt that it is somewhat strange. Enough, enough. Qin Yun smiled and touched Maluru's face. Maluru, thank you. Big brother will return it to you in the future. No need. What is mine is big brother's. Maluru smiled sweetly and then ate the golden fruit. Her pretty face is filled with a happy smile. Qin Yun can't help but pinch her face and then let her enter the nine-sun divine soul, letting her be together with Yang Yang and the others. Qin Yun is now in the cave. After obtaining the 10 billion divine universe golden stones, he immediately began to increase the upper limit of his mental power. Old brother Taisher, in the future, when my mental energy reaches a higher level, will it increase the amount of divine universe golden stones? Qin Yun always felt that since mental power is so difficult to cultivate, it will not be easy to increase it. I still don't know. Taisher said, in the book that Yu Li Fan gave Qin Yun, it is written that if one's mental power is high, even if they are not in the area covered by the heavenly power, they can roughly sense the area covered by the heavenly power. If one's mental power is not enough, they will have to run around and try everywhere to find out whether they are in the area covered by the heavenly power or not. Therefore, if those seniors with high mental power go out, they will definitely be able to find a divine universe golden stone mine, and it will be a big mine. Qin Yun now knows how rich the heaven-opening ancient clan is. As long as they spend some time, they will definitely be able to find a big mine in the nine-sun sacred land. Finding a mine is not difficult for them. What is difficult is guarding the mine and mining. And mining is not difficult for Qin Yun. As long as he can find it, he can quickly teleport to the nine-sun divine soul. The methods that Senior Li Fan gave me are all for finding large mines. Why need our small mines? Yin is just one person. If he can find a small mine, it will be easier to move to the nine-sun divine soul. It was very likely that the mine had been taken over long ago. If it wasn't controlled by the heaven-splitting ancient clan, then it was controlled by the beings of the outer universe. Qin inside the cave, Yin pondered over how to find a big mine. Her mind kept recalling the contents of the booklet. That, after all, he was looking for a big mine, but he would definitely be able to deduce a way to find a small mine. The godly monarch heavenly seal helped Qin Yun raise his psyche power's upper limits, but it required a certain amount of time. Typically, it would consume 10 billion divine universe goldstones a day. Qin this time, Yin had to consume 10 billion divine universe goldstones. He needed a day to raise his mental force to 60. During this period of time, he could think about how to find a small mine. The power of the heavens determines which area will have a metal stone mine, and the terrain is used to shrink the area that the power of the heavens covers. As long as I can determine the area where the energy of the earth is, I can use a special tool to sense it, and I'll be able to sense the divine universe goldstone. That's right. For those 8th or 9th level divine universe realm seniors, the final determinant of whether or not they could find a divine universe goldstone mine is the probing tool. The probing tool needs to be infused with mental force. According to the description in the booklet, it needs to be infused with at least 60 mental force in order to have a certain reaction. Yin currently did not have such a probing tool, and it was definitely very rare. Only the seniors of the heaven-splitting ancient clan would have one. The seniors who use the tool should have at least 1 or 200 mental force, or even higher. Furthermore, the tool is mainly used to detect large minds to increase one's perception. It is definitely custom-made for people with extremely high mental force. Yin rubbed his chin and muttered to himself, analyzing the results of his thoughts. This kind of tool is specially used to find large minds. In other words, the area covered by the power of the heavens is very large, and there will be many types of earth energy. Large areas with earth energy can be easily sensed, and there will be large minds. When they find small areas with earth energy, they can quickly determine if there is a payment and then give up on the small mine. No one wants to go through so much trouble, only to find a small mine in the end. When Yin thought of this, he suddenly became excited. He did not have a probing tool, but he had Maluru. Maluru could find a single piece of divine universe golden stone, let alone those small mines. Keen from Maluru's small space bag, Yin also saw many thumb-sized divine universe golden stones, which she found in the uninhabited area. If the area covered by the power of the heavens is as big as an ocean, then the area covered by earth energy is the large and small islands on the ocean, and the large mines are the huge continents. This kind of area is generally occupied by people or is relatively dangerous. What I'm looking for is the kind of small mines that are the size of small islands. After Yin sorted out his thoughts, he was very happy. If everything went well, he could find a lot of small ores. Although it would not be comparable to those huge ores, it would be enough for him and Malur to use the divine universe golden stone. The location of the underground city has the power of the heavens, so there must be earth energy. I have to run around everywhere to sense the earth energy. As long as Yin can sense the earth energy and wait for Maluru's feeling to come, he can let Maluru come out and let her lock onto the divine universe golden stone. Maluru's perception is much stronger than those tools. However, she needs to wait for the feeling to come. A day later, Yun's mental power rose to 60, but he did not feel any difference. To be able to increase your mental energy by 10 points in a day is very fast. If you have enough divine universe gold stones, you will be able to quickly reach 100 or even several hundred. Many people in the 8th or 9th level of the divine universe realm might not even have such a strong mental energy. Yun secretly curled his lips. Taishur said this to deliberately provoke him to earn divine universe golden stone and then put it into the divine king heavenly seal to increase his mental power or cultivate something. If he wants to become stronger, he can only pour a large amount of divine universe golden stone into the divine king heavenly seal. White sky. Yun looked at the 6 myriad realms divine suns in the sky and cursed the 9 suns Dharma spirit in his heart. Then he began to sense the power of the heavens. His current location is not far from the destroyed underground city. He released 60 points of mental power in one breath and can sense that he is still in the area covered by the power of the heavens. Very good. Next, I will start pouring my mental power into the earth to sense the earth energy. This step is rather difficult because the area covered by the power of the heavens is very large, but there is not much earth energy in this area. In order to sense the earth energy, he needs to run everywhere and pour his mental power into the ground every certain distance. At the same time, he needs to confirm whether he is still in the range of the power of the heavens. Chapter 2981. Yun has the divine King Heavenly Seal, so he can quickly recover his mental power. However, it does not mean that he can continuously consume mental power. This will cause his soul and divine universe to become fatigued. Every time he arrives at a place, he would first use it to sense the heavenly power to ensure that he is within the range of the heavenly power. Then he would send his mental power deep into the ground to sense the earth energy. If he can't sense the earth energy, then he would run to another place and let his soul and divine universe rest during this time. At another place, he would repeat what he did before until he could sense the earth energy. If I had that kind of probing tool, I would be able to find golden stone mines by myself, but most of them would be big mines. Qin Yun is sure that he is still in the outer region of Nine Sun Holy Land. The outer region has a region covered by the heavenly power, and the range is very large. Did the booklet you leaf on gave you say how many earth energy regions there are in a region covered by the heavenly power? Taisher asked. According to their many years of experience, a large region covered by the heavenly power has at least 1 big, 3 medium, 5 small, and 7 micro. There is 1 large-scale mine, 3 medium-scale mines, 5 small-scale mines, 7 micro-scale mines, and many scattered divine universe golden stones. Qin Yun took out the booklet and opened one of the pages for Taisher to see. After that, Yin ran around everywhere and started busying himself with his prospecting career. He discovered that at night, when the divine moon shines brightly, he only needs to use 40 mental power to sense that he is within the range of the heavenly power. This can save him a lot of divine universe golden stones. He continuously changed more than 20 points to test. After several days, he finally sensed the earth energy. Moreover, it is currently nighttime. Earth energy. This is earth energy, Qin said. After Yin sent 60 mental power into the ground, he felt that when his mental power attacked the ground, it was hit by a powerful air current. This is a feeling he never felt before after trying for more than 20 times. He is very excited, so he decided to try again. He tried again. This time the feeling is different from before. Previously, his mental power was hit by a backlash. But this time, his mental power flowed along with the air current. Of course, this feeling disappeared in an instant. It is more or less the same as the description in the booklet Yu Li Fan gave him. There's Earth Qi nearby. I wonder how big it is. Qin Yun floated high in the sky and opened his heavenly eye to look at the ground. Even though he used all his mental power, he could not see any earthen Qi deep underground. He took out more than a dozen positioning signals. Some emitted soul waves, and some emitted spatial waves. He placed them at several points in this area. Even if he lost a few of them, he would still be able to sense this place. Milu, Er's feeling hasn't come yet, so Qin Yun can't let her come out to sense the divine universe goldstone. Malheur told Qin Yun that she would have this strange feeling for a few days every month. When this ability appeared, Malheur's original blue hair would turn red. Therefore, Qin Yun wanted to find a few more areas with Earth Qi before Malheur sensed it. This way, when she sensed it, he could immediately take her to look for ores in several areas with Earth Qi. After running for a few more days, Qin Yun left the Earth Qi region and found another Earth Qi region. Now he had already found 2 areas with Earth Qi. Qin Yun, when those heaven-opening ancient clan elders sensed the Earth Qi region, did they discover that it was a small mine? If they discovered it, did they want it or not? Taisher is very curious. They will divide the work and determine the Earth Qi region. If the Earth Qi region is small, they won't go any further and will continue to look for large and medium mines. They will determine the size of the mine according to the size of the Earth Qi region. Qin Yun said. Then what level of mine are the 2 Earth Qi regions you found? Taisher said, if it's a large mine and it hasn't been discovered, then it's a big profit. Qin Yun shook his head and said, if it's a large mine, I should be able to see someone mining it, or there might be a dangerous area nearby. What I found might be a small Earth Qi region. This kind of mine is generally very safe and very difficult to discover. After more than 10 days of prospecting, Qin Yun discovered that his soul divine universe has withered a lot. He can feel that his spirit is very poor, and he always feels like sleeping. After finding 2 Earth Qi regions, he is now a lot more at ease. He can rest in peace for a few days and wait for Malheur's feeling to appear. Qin Yun rested well for 2 days. Malheur suddenly ran out of the 9 Sun Divine Soul. She can now freely enter and exit the 9 Sun Divine Soul. Qin Yun is hiding in a stone room deep underground. His 9 Sun heaven-raising pagoda has already been damaged and cannot be repaired in a short period of time. He plans to collect enough divine universe heavenly bones to strengthen the nine-sun heaven-raising pagoda. Big brother, look at me. My hair is red. Malur's hair is red. My feeling is coming. Not only Malur's hair turned red, her beautiful eyes also turned red. Spirit Yin helped her tie up a pair of long ponytails. At this moment, she grabbed her ponytails with both hands and happily danced in front of Qin Yin. I have red hair. I can help Big Brother find golden crisps. Because Malur can help Qin Yin, she is so happy that she is dancing with joy. Seeing Malur's innocent and lively appearance, Qin Yin was also infected. He could not help but laugh and asked, Malur, can you feel any golden crisps nearby now? The place he is at is the second Earth Chi region he found. If Malur can't sense the divine universe golden stone, then he can only run around with Malur at night. Big brother, I will start looking for golden crisps now. Malur's big red eyes suddenly flashed with red light. Qin, the divine mirror of great beginning in Yun's hand, suddenly trembled. Just now, when Taishu sensed Malur's mental power, he said in surprise, this little girl's mental power actually reached more than 3,000. What? 3,000? Qin Yin was shocked and quickly asked Taishu, Big brother, did you see wrong? No, I'm absolutely not mistaken. Moreover, her mental power is very special. It can turn into a gust of wind, travel through the earth, sweep the ground, and quickly scan whether or not there is a divine universe golden stone. Taishu said in surprise, the universe is so big, there are all kinds of strange things. After Malur released a powerful mental power just now, her red hair suddenly became a lot lighter, and her red eyes also gradually became lighter. Malur, are you tired? Qin Yin is worried that she will be very tired and hurriedly asked, I'm not tired. I just want to eat some golden crisps. Malur took out the divine universe golden stone, stuffed it into a fruit, and mixed it up. After eating more than 10 fruits with divine universe golden stone, the red color of her hair gradually deepened and returned to its original color. Taishu said to Qin Yin, the mental power wind she released just now should be able to search underground. This is really a magical ability. Chapter 2982. Malur's search for the divine universe golden stone is not something that can be found immediately. She now needs to concentrate and control the mental space wind that she released to search underground. Malur, do you think there are divine universe golden stones in this area? Qin Yin saw Malur's ability, and it reminded him of the group of human ghosts. When those human ghosts traveled deep underground, they also looked like mental energy wind. Strangely, only Qin Yin could see those human ghosts. Yes, I can feel it. I need to look carefully. Malur also gradually became serious. When she was about to sit down, Qin Yin quickly took out a chair for her to sit down. She sat down. Although her eyes are looking forward, it is as if she is controlling the mental space wind. Malur's red hair state only exists for a few days every month. Qin Yin found a few Earth Chi areas in advance, so that Malur can use her red hair state to quickly find divine universe golden stone from the Earth Chi area. Otherwise, Qin Yin would need more time to run around Heaven Power area with her, and they would have to face a certain amount of danger. At first, Malur opened her beautiful red eyes wide, then gradually closed them. Her long red hair gently fluttered, releasing a faint red glow. Taishu transmitted his voice to Qin Yin. She is currently strengthening the mental space power wind. She can cross space and send her mental space power out to strengthen the wind. This will allow her to expand the range of her search. Qin Yin is secretly amazed by Malur's ability. Old brother Taishu, didn't you say that after cultivating mental space wind, you can use your consciousness to fly in the sky? Then can I be like Malur? Qin Yin's heart is moved. If he could also master this method, it would be even better. You can't. At most, you can only separate a small group of souls to swim under the ground, and the range of your perception is limited. Unless you have thousands or even tens of thousands of spiritual energy, you can only do what Malur did. Taisher said. Malur can burst out her mental power to 200. Then, through her innate ability, she can turn her mental power into a gust of wind and blow underground. Malur's mental space wind will know whether there is a divine universe golden stone or not. If there is a divine universe golden stone, then she will use her mental power to mark that location. When her mental space wind reaches the limit of its search range, she can mark many points with divine universe golden stone and then go look for them. Qin Yun suddenly realized that Malur's powerful ability is indeed very heaven-defying. She was used by the Golden Universe sect in his hometown for many years. It can be said that she is very important and should be valued. But later on, the Golden Universe sect was pressured to hand Malur over to the so-called Destroyers. In order to avoid the Destroyers, Malur traveled through the vast universe and finally arrived at the God Desolate. If that group of Destroyers could really catch up, then Qin Yun would have to face a new powerful enemy. He did not know what kind of Destroyers they were. He had not even fully figured out what kind of creature Maruru was. Her spirit power should be around 300, but when she explodes, it's 3,000. This is 10 times the explosive power, truly too terrifying. Taisher said, Grand Primes were Dharma spirits. Powerful Dharma spirits, like them, mainly cultivated mental power. Therefore, he is very clear about how terrifying it is to be able to increase one's spirit power by 10 times. If Malur's spirit power is 1,000, then 10 times is more than 10,000. Just thinking about it is terrifying. Malur's search time is very long. It took her 2 days to finish searching the limit of her search range. During this period, she ate many fruits and Divine Universe Golden Stone to recover her consumption. Qin Yin discovered that if she consumed a large amount of spirit power, the color of her hair would gradually fade. As long as she ate Divine Universe Golden Stone, she would quickly recover. Qin Yin is somewhat puzzled. Malur does not need too many Divine Universe Golden Stones to recover her spirit power, and he himself needs 1,000,000 Divine Universe Golden Stones to recover his spirit power through the Divine King Heavenly Seal. He doesn't know if it is because of the Divine King Heavenly Seal or because Malur's innate ability is too strong. He plans to ask Yulifan next time what kind of things an ordinary person would need to quickly recover their spirit power. Big brother, I finished searching. There are so many golden stones here. After Malur finished searching, her face is filled with a sweet smile. Did you find any place with the most? Qin Yun asked. This is the first time he cooperated with Malur. They need to communicate with each other to make their cooperation better. There's a place with a lot of golden crisps and even more scattered golden crisps. I have marked more than 100 places. I will take you to find them immediately. Malur pulled Qin Yun and wanted to take him to the space shuttle. Malur, take me directly to the place with the most golden stones. Qin Yun said with a smile. Our time is limited, and it is also very dangerous here. We just need to find a place with the most. Don't look for the scattered ones. There are also many scattered golden stones. In my hometown, they absolutely won't let go of them. Even if it is a small one, they want me to find it. Malur whispered. Obviously, this was her habit, and she was forced to do so. Qin Yun smiled and touched her face. You must be very tired to find so many scattered ones. Moreover, it will take a lot of time. Later when you find the most, you can stop. Malur nodded. Then now take me to the place with the most. It is best not to go underground. Let's go in the air, okay? Qin Yun asked. If they went to the underground of the mining area, and there happened to be powerful foreign creatures mining, it would be very dangerous. Yes. Malur took Qin Yun's hand and then left through space. In the blink of an eye, they were in the air. It is now night, and Malur can also come out. After coming to the air, she pointed to the large flat ground below and said, Brother, there are a lot of golden stones down there. How can we take all the golden stones? Only the 2 of us. Yang, Sister Yun also come out to help? No need for them. I could take all of them. Qin Yun said with a smile. but I have to make sure that there are no other dangerous things down there. If there are no, then we can proceed. This mine has not been discovered. It should be a small mine, which is the most suitable for Qin Yun. Next, with the help of Malheur, Qin Yun determined the scope of the small mine. It is 10,000 meters wide. The Divine Universe golden stones below are relatively fragmented, not the kind of giant Divine Universe golden stones that are formed in one piece. As for the total number, Qin Yun and Malheur could not estimate it. They can only know after digging it out. Chapter 2983. Divine Universe golden stones are formed very deep underground. Qin Yun is now digging out the top layer of soil. He has to dig very deep. This reminded him of the huge, deep pit in the underground city. He suspected that the reason why it was blasted to such a state was to take away the Divine Universe golden stones underground. This means that there is a huge piece of Divine Universe golden stone near the underground city. Malheur saw that Qin Yun is busy digging. She plans to use this time to find the scattered Divine Universe golden stones she marked before. Qin Yun is very worried about her, so he did not let her go. While digging, he released Sky Universe Overlord. This puppet can become very big. It is also very fast when digging. It can save Qin Yun a lot of trouble. Of course, he can also use powerful Divine Universe power to bombard the ground, but this will cause a lot of movement. Now he has to do this kind of thing quietly. If it attracted powerful outer space beasts, it will be very troublesome. Now, there is no group of human ghosts. If a large number of outer space beasts and beastmen suddenly come over, he can only quickly run away. Therefore, he did not allow Malheur to run out by herself. This is not a death zone like the no man's area. Malheur has stayed in the no man's area for too long. She has not seen anything stronger. Qin Yun knows that Malheur's mental power is very strong, but it is hard to say in other aspects, especially when it comes to those outer space beasts. Malheur, you go first and go with Yang Yang and the others. Qin Yun moved away the very hard and thick layer of soil above. He is preparing to move the Divine Universe golden stones underground. I can help. Malheur wants to help Qin Yun. Qin Yun asked her before whether or not she can directly make the Divine Universe golden stones float up. She can't do it, but she can cross space and go underground to take them one by one. This is too slow, so Qin Yun let her wait inside the Nine-Sun Divine Soul. Because after he takes out a large number of Divine Universe golden stones, it might attract the outer space beasts. It will be very dangerous. Malheur, rest well. I still have more important things for you to help me with. Qin Yun said with smile. I will rest well. Malheur is still in red hair state. She has been red hair for almost 3 days. Qin Yun estimates that she can maintain this state for about 6 or 7 days, so he has to hurry. Next, Qin Yun floated in the air and released his Divine Universe power many times, condensing it into supergravity that enveloped a large area below. By controlling supergravity, he can make heavy things lighter. Divine Universe golden stones are very heavy, and soil is definitely lighter than Divine Universe golden stones. Qin Yun sent supergravity into the ground and covered all the Divine Universe gold stones. Then, by controlling gravity, he made the Divine Universe gold stones float up. He had used this move before, but he had only used it on some ordinary ores. Those ores were not heavy, so he could carry it out very smoothly. The Divine Universe gold stones were very heavy, and there were many of them. This was a huge test for Qin Yun. This won't do, this area is too big. I need to do it. Qin Yun had underestimated the amount of Divine Universe gold stone below, causing him to be unable to complete it in one go. He divided the area into 10 sections, and then divided them into stages. Even if he did it 10 times, it was still very draining. Thankfully, he had the godly King Embark to help him recover quickly, so he could still bear it. Now, he is even more certain that only this kind of small mine is suitable for him. Otherwise, even if he found an uninhabited medium or large-sized mine, it would be very difficult for him to take it away safely. Qin Yun injected a gravitational force into the ground, making things that were heavier underground become weightless. Then he released another gravity force in the sky. This gravity force is used to draw out the light, divine, universe golden stones underground. Gradually, a large area of soil suddenly bulged up. Many large and small stones slowly drilled out of the soil and floated up. There are many stones, but they're not divine universe golden stones. Most of the divine universe metal ores were sandwiched between the rocks or mixed with the rocks. Some are not completely evolved divine universe golden stones. Some have turned into divine universe golden stones. This kind of divine universe golden stones will need to be filtered later. It can be said that most of the stones floating up now are ores. They need to be further refined to become true divine universe golden stones. Qin Yin not only expands his divine universe power to release the supergravity force, he also has to use his mental universe power to transfer the ores into the 9-yang divine soul. He saw many dazzling divine universe golden stones in the large area of floating soil. He felt a sense of accomplishment. His efforts over the past few days have not been in vain. Qin Yin did not dare to rest, because when the ores were unearthed, they released many fluctuations. He used the Godly King Heavenly Seal to recover his energy before he started the next transfer. He did this 8 times, and 2 days have passed. After he expended his energy, he used the Godly King Heavenly Seal to recover. After repeating this so many times, he is reaching his limit, but he can still persevere. He has transferred 8 parts of this small ore. Only 2 parts are left. It is noon. Qin Yin has just used the Godly King Heavenly Seal to recover his mental universe power and divine universe power when he suddenly sensed a powerful aura. The Heavenly Eye Avatar released in the sky can see hundreds of outer space beasts and more than 100 outer space beastmen. They are rushing over under the scorching sun. Damn it, I have been sensed. Qin Yin immediately started transferring the 9th part. After he finished, he recovered his energy and left immediately. Just as he left, the group of Outer Universe Beastmen arrived. The Outer Universe Beastmen had tamed their beasts and brought them over. Qin Yin got Malheur to come out and help him see which part has the most divine universe golden stones. He is very strong, so he transferred the part with the most divine universe golden stones first. Therefore, there are very few divine universe golden stones left in the remaining part. Qin Yin has not checked how many divine universe golden stones he obtained this time. He needs to refine and filter them before he can calculate them. However, during this period of time, he has been sensing the heaven and earth chi. In addition, he has transferred a large amount of divine universe golden stones 9 times. He has used the divine universe golden stones to replenish his energy through the Godly King Heavenly Seal. He has used up a total of 4 billion divine universe golden stones. Fortunately, he has a few billion on him. Now he has earned back the divine universe golden stones he obtained from the small ore. Malheur's red hair state is still there. She said she can maintain it for 2 more days. Qin Yin immediately brought her to the 2nd Earth Chi region. These 2 days are enough for Malheur to find the location of the golden stone mine. What makes him not know whether to laugh or cry is that Malheur is still thinking about the more than 100 scattered divine universe golden stones. She has used her mental universe power to mark them. In the next 10 days, she will be able to sense the location of those divine universe golden stones. Qin Yin promised her that he will find those scattered divine universe golden stones with her. Chapter 2984. Qin Yin brought Malheur to the 2nd Earth Chi region and then went deep underground. This will allow Malheur to release mental space wind to sweep the underground of this region. This time don't mark the small ones, just find the biggest ones. Qin Yin said with a smile. This way you can also relax a lot. Brother, what is this place? Why were there always so many golden crisps? This is very rare in my hometown, Malheur said, then began to release the mental wind to search for gold and stone mines. How many golden crisps can you find in your hometown? Qin Yin asked. It's about the size of a house, about the size of Sister Yin-er's room. Malheur said, only this divine universe goldstone is as big as a room. It is the biggest one that Maluru found in her hometown. Qin Yin can't help but wonder if divine universe goldstones are scarce in her hometown. Then, Qin Yin began to learn about the situation in Malheur's hometown. He began to worry that even if Malheur was in the divine wilderness, she might still be found by those destroyers. Therefore, he needed to understand the situation of Malheur's hometown so that he could be prepared. Qin Yin did not learn too much about her hometown from Maruru. The main thing was that she was born in Jinyu's sect and had no parents. When she was a little girl, she began to be trained to look for mines. It could be said that she had always been treated as a tool to search for divine universe metal stones. Moreover, the Golden Universe sect did not give her many divine universe metal stones to eat, causing her cultivation to always be limited to a certain range. Milu had been lonely since she was a child. She wanted to be part of a group. She wanted to have her own friends, her own companions, and play with them happily. It could be seen that she had always maintained the innocence of a child. Her thoughts had not matured, and she was still the same as when she was young. Because of this, she had always been used, and her cultivation had always been suppressed. For the sake of the divine universe metal stone, others would only lie to her on the surface or threaten her. They would often threaten that they wouldn't be friends with her. Until one day, when the destroyer arrived, no one admitted that they were Malheur's friends. The Golden Universe sect also decisively handed Malheur over. Milu felt very sad at that moment. When she told Qin Yin about it, her eyes were moist. At that time, Qin Yin comforted her, saying that she should be happy to have such sincere companions like Yang Yang and the others. Only then did she immediately smile. Milu was always looking for divine universe golden stone underground, so she didn't know much about her hometown. Therefore, she didn't know what the destroyer was. She only heard that he wanted to capture her and take her life. Qin Yin analyzed according to Malheur's words. After his analysis and conjecture, he felt that everyone in the Golden Universe sect knew that Malheur would definitely be captured by the destroyer. Thus, from the very beginning, they had used Malheur as a tool. Moreover, they would not give her too many divine universe golden stones, only enough for her to recover. In addition, Malheur's hometown was very short of divine universe golden stones. It was very likely that they would not be able to condense divine universe golden stones for a long time, and over time they would become scarce. The people of Golden Universe sect had become insane for the sake of the divine universe golden stone. They had joined forces to bully a simple little girl like Malheur, and they had bullied her for so many years. Knowing what happened to Malheur, Qin Yin felt sympathy and anger at the same time. If you eat the golden crispy, will it make you stronger? Qin Yin asked. After I eat it, my strength will become stronger. But I think it would be better to give it to Big Brother. Malheur whispered. I can't bear to eat too much now. Silly girl. After you become stronger, Big Brother won't have to worry about you anymore. Qin Yin smiled and caressed her face. Big Brother, if I become stronger, you won't have to protect me anymore, right? You don't want me anymore? Malheur suddenly puffed up her cheeks and pursed her lips. She was a little sad. Qin Yin shook his head with a smile and said, How could that be? After Malheur becomes stronger, she can help Big Brother beat up the bad guys. You don't know, there are many big bad guys who want to destroy Big Brother. After you become stronger, you can protect Big Brother. What kind of big bad guys? Malheur was a little sad just now, but now she became very angry and worried. There are all kinds of bad guys, so Malheur has to eat more golden crispy and become stronger, so that Big Brother won't be afraid of those big bad guys. Qin Yin said with a smile. Malheur looked like a slim and elegant woman, but her thinking was like that of a little girl. Again, in addition, she has been bullied for many years and has no true friends. Now that she met Qin Yin and Ling Yun'er, she feels very warm and does not want to leave them. She is now very worried that one day she will be abandoned by Qin Yin and Ling Yun'er. In order to dispel this idea, Qin Yin deliberately said that he needed her help, needed her to become stronger. This way, she would not think like this anymore, and she would also not be reluctant to eat those Divine Universe Golden Stones. Qin Yun said before that the Divine Universe Golden Stones he found would be equally divided with Malheur. Otherwise, it would be equivalent to using Malheur as a tool for prospecting, no different from those guys from Golden Universe sect. Qin Yun wants to change Malheur's current concept. Let her know how much she has to pay, how much she will get in return, and teach her to know how to resist and fight against strong enemies. Otherwise, with Malheur's ability, she would have already left. The reason why she has been kept by Golden Universe sect for so many years is because she has been instilled with all kinds of slavery ideas since childhood. This time, Malheur did not need to mark those scattered Divine Universe Golden Stones, so she quickly found the area with the most Divine Universe Golden Stones. Big brother, I found a place with a lot of golden crisps. This place is too magical. How can there be so many golden crisps? Malheur suddenly shouted excitedly. This time, it only took her half a day to find the location of the golden stone mine. Compared to the previous place, how much? Qin Yun asked. Much more than before. After Malheur finished speaking, she frowned and said, But I seem to sense something moving there. There are a lot of them. Compared to the previous small mine, there are a lot of them. That is a medium-sized golden stone mine. These a medium-sized golden stone mine has moving things, and there are a lot of them. It means that it has been discovered and occupied by someone. Qin Yun still doesn't know what has occupied it, but he has already asked Malheur to mark it. Let's go and take those scattered golden crisps first, Qin Yun said with a smile. If we don't take them, you will definitely think about them all day long. Malheur just smiled sweetly, then pulled Qin Yun and went through space to take more than 100 Divine Universe Golden Stones that she marked before. Because Malheur can travel through space, the process is relatively fast and easy. Adding up, there are not many. There are large and small ones. There are only about 1 billion Divine Universe Golden Stones. Search looking for Divine Universe Golden Stones seems to be a part of Malheur's life, so after she found them, she is very happy. Chapter 2985. After finding the scattered Divine Universe Gold Stones, Qin Yun asked Malheur to take him to the vicinity of the medium-sized gold stone mine. Malheur originally planned to bring Qin Yun directly to the sky above the medium-sized metal stone mine, but Qin Yun said that it was very dangerous there. She did not know what kind of danger there was, so Qin Yun did not tell her. After arriving near the medium-sized golden stone mine, Malheur entered the Nine-Sun Divine Soul and went to another pearl of the Nine-Sun Divine Soul with Ling Yuner. That inside this pearl, there's a large number of ores that Qin Yun produced. They want to filter out these ores. Malheur was very good at this. After she came here, she was sure that this was the batch of Divine Universe Golden Stones that she had sensed before. After knowing that Qin Yun had collected so many Divine Universe Golden Stones in such a short period of time, she admired Qin Yun even more. Qin Yun was near the medium-sized gold stone mine. She could sense the aura of alien creatures. She was sure that the medium-sized gold stone mine had already been occupied by alien creatures. What a pity! Qin Yun originally thought that he would be able to obtain 2 small mines. This way, his harvest this time would not be small. But now, he had sensed that there was a medium-sized gold stone mine in the Earth Qi region. Qin Yun, the fact that you can sense the Earth energy here means that the Earth energy has not been destroyed. Taisher said, in other words, that place hasn't been completely mined yet. At most, it has just been mined. I'll go check it out first. If they haven't gone deep underground, I can quietly dig a small part of it. There was quite a number of Divine Universe Goldstones in the V-shaped Goldstone mine. If Qin Yun were to secretly dig it out by himself, given enough time, he would be able to dig out quite a lot. In any case, he still had a lot of time. Great Divine Lord would only go find you Xieji in 3 months. This Malheur felt that last month had passed, so he still had another chance to look for the Divine Universe Golden Stone next month. Therefore, he had to make good use of this time and obtain as many Divine Universe Golden Stones as possible. In the third month, he would be able to use this batch of divine universe golden stones to cultivate. His next cultivation plan was to increase the upper limit of his divine cosmic force. Goblin, although divine universe force and divine universe heavenly bone were important, they consumed a great deal of divine universe goldstone. Currently, to deal with the great divine lord, with Qin Yun's current physical body and 60 points of mental power, it was definitely enough. By God, godly Monarch's body and soul were not as powerful as Qin Yun's. The greatest difference between Qin Yun and the great divine king was still the divine cosmos power. The great divine lord could release 3,000 divine universe power, while Qin Yun could only release 1,200. In these 3 months, the great divine lord might be able to raise it to 4,000 to 5,000. If Qin Yun could have the upper limit of 3,000 divine universe powers, then defeating the great divine lord would be very stable. Qin, after Cloud turned invisible, he flew in the sky. He went to investigate at night. At night, the moonlight of the heavenly god Moon shone on him. Coupled with his mental energy, he could hide his aura even better and strengthen his perception. This was mainly because he had previously cultivated the mental nether moon and the divine moon Tao idol. Now, his mental energy and the divine moon of the heavens could fuse very well. Qin Yun carefully flew for an hour and finally arrived at the top of the medium-sized golden stone mine. There are already 3 large and deep pits dug out here. Each of them is 10,000 meters wide. It's been mined for a while, but they haven't dug to the layer with the most ores, only the surface layer. Cloud looked down and discovered that many huge outer space beasts and outer space beastmen are frantically digging down. Strange, why do the outer space beasts and outer space beastmen look like slaves? Qin Yun carefully observed for a while and felt that it is very strange. According to his investigation, the outer space beasts and outer space beastmen below are not weak. These powerful outer space creatures are actually digging with all their might. It is very likely that they are being threatened. Qin Yun immediately thought of the outer space humans. Only there are outer space humans with this kind of formidable power to enslave these outer space creatures. Qin Yun continued to observe the surrounding environment. He wanted to see if there are any outer space humans nearby. If it is really as he guessed, then there must be outer space humans supervising the work nearby. There shouldn't be too many outer space humans. With their strength, just a small team is enough. Taisher said, I discovered some houses that seem to be built by the heaven-opening ancient race. Qin Yun's discovery immediately made him think of many things. This mine originally belonged to the heaven-opening ancient race, but it was later robbed. With the heaven-opening ancient race's ability, they must have found those large and medium-sized golden stone mines in this heaven power region. This heaven power region is at the edge of the 9-sun holy land, so it is normal for the heaven-opening ancient race to prioritize mining. After all, transportation is more convenient, and if they encounter any danger, they can immediately ask for reinforcements. However, this mine was still robbed. This means that the outer space people have meticulously planned this heaven power region, so much so that the heaven-opening ancient race can't quickly come to help. Outer space people are really hard to deal with. Qin Yun is now very vigilant. Since it is a mine occupied by outer space people, there must be outer space people around. But Qin Yun did not find any trace of outer space people. Although it is nighttime now, there should be outer space people supervising or patrolling. Qin Yun cannot see any outer space people, but he still doesn't dare to be careless. Outer space people are quite crafty. You must be more careful. Qin Yun, you should give up. Moving this mine is too risky. Taisher said. Qin Yun doesn't want to give up because the small mine from before is not enough to satisfy him. I'll go deep and give it a try, Qin Yun said. They did not directly go deep to mine. They might not have found the deepest layer with the most divine universe golden stone. The U people did not sense it, which means that their mining ability is not strong, so they only dug the 3 mines left by the heaven-opening ancient race. Just as Qin Yun is about to enter the depths, he suddenly sensed many powerful auras suddenly erupt. It is the aura of outer space people and the heaven-opening ancient race people. That all appeared at the same time, which means that the heaven-opening ancient race people are hiding and attacking. Outside, the Yu people sensed the attack of the heaven-opening ancient race people and reacted very quickly. They immediately appeared and entered battle mode. They are indeed people from the heaven-opening ancient race. They were beaten away before, and now they are back to steal? Qin Yun said with a frown. I wonder if they can beat them. Qin Yun can't help much in this kind of battle, because the people participating are all at the 4th or 5th level of the divine universe realm. They are all heaven-opening ancient race, people who have returned from the outerverse. They have rich experience fighting against outer space people. Open not long after the heaven ancient race people launched their attack, a large number of outer space beasts and beastmen joined the battle. Open, although there are more than 100 heaven ancient race people, they are still too few compared to the outer space creatures. They are immediately surrounded. Chapter 2986. Quickly retreat. The person leading the group was an old man. His cultivation was also at the 8th level of the divine universe realm. After shouting loudly, the others immediately retreated, leaving only the old man and a dozen or so middle-aged men behind to cover the retreat of the others. There were more than 100 people on the side of the heaven ancient race. Although there were only 50 or so outsiders, they had a large number of beastmen and beasts. Outside, the people of the universe didn't need to make a move. They just needed to let the group of beasts and beastmen attack the heaven ancient race crazily. Then, the outsiders would sneak attack from time to time. Could it be that they didn't expect the strength of the outsiders? Qin Yun watched as the group of people retreated. In the end, the old man and the dozen or so middle-aged men also successfully retreated. Only then did he heave a sigh of relief. Only now did Yun realize that there was something squirming under the calm ground just now. Thinking about it carefully, he knew that there were a large number of beasts and beastmen hiding underground. This was also something that the heaven ancient race did not expect, so they had to immediately retreat as soon as they arrived. Qin Yun had originally planned to go deep underground and quietly dig out a small portion of the divine universe golden stone. But now, it seemed that even if he went deep, he might be discovered. He had learned that many of the beasts and beastmen from the outer space could drill into the ground and walk very easily underground. The outsiders didn't dig deep. Could it be that they planned to dig up the surface layer and then dig deeper? Qin Yun asked. Yun also dispelled the idea of going deep underground. The medium-sized golden stone mine was too closely watched, so it was very difficult for him to have a chance to make a move. Right now, he could only follow the group of heaven ancient race members and understand the situation from them. He wanted to ask about the underground city. The outsiders did not chase after them, because it was very likely that the heaven ancient race members would leave the Nine Sun Sacred Land, so there was no point in them chasing after them. If they were ambushed on the way, they might even suffer losses. Qin Yun carefully followed them in the air. Right now, he was using his mental power to conceal himself, so the old man at the 8th level of the divine universe realm did not discover that he was following him. I hid well. Just as Qin Yun was feeling complacent, he suddenly felt a strong mental power sweep over, as if it was blowing past his body. Not good. I've been discovered. Qin Yun was alarmed. That's it. Right at this moment, that old man at the 8th level of the divine firmament realm turned his head and looked over. His eagle-like eyes seemed to shoot out 2 cold arcs of lightning. And at the same time, Qin Yun felt a terrifying aura attack him. The old man arrived in front of him in the blink of an eye. Senior, he is one of us. Qin Yun immediately shouted and then appeared. Previously, he was invisible, but at that time, he was detected, which meant that 8th level divine universe realm old man's spiritual force was still very strong. Why are you here alone? Furthermore, you are following us? The elder could tell at a glance that Qin Yun was not an outsider. As long as they were not aliens, there was nothing to be afraid of. Qin Yun hurriedly took out his identity card and said, "I am a disciple of the Imperial Heaven Sect." Most of the troops were still on their way and didn't stop. In the group, there were still more than a dozen 7th-level Divine Universe Realm Elders. Those were all of the same strength as Yi Yuan, and could also be considered a guarantee of safety. "You are Qin Yun?" When the old man saw the identity card, he was very surprised and said, "Who did you come in with?" Qin Yun, the Divine King, was still quite famous in the eyes of the heaven-splitting ancient race's elders. Of previously, he helped the heaven-splitting ancient race take away the huge piece of divine firmament black gold, which left a deep impression on the elders. I came in by myself," Qin Yun said. "Nonsense. How could you run in by yourself? The Nine-Sun Holy Land is very dangerous now, much more dangerous than the last time you came in," the old man sternly reprimanded. He was just more concerned, just like how an elder cared about a junior. Because in his eyes, no matter how strong Qin Yun was, he was still a junior. His strength was limited, so it was very dangerous for him to run around in the Nine-Sun Holy Land. "Senior, what happened to the underground city? When I arrived, it was already gone," Qin Yun asked. "We are from that underground city. The underground city was attacked by outsiders. They stole our divine firmament golden stone." The old man cursed loudly. These bastards began to move around the edge of the barrier. Then the old man brought Qin Yun and flew towards the large group. The old man's name is Qin Liangzheng. He is from the Qin clan. He is not from the Yu clan, but he is in the underground city built by the Yu clan. Thus, in fact, the underground city was not completely built by the Yu clan. Other heaven-splitting ancient race participated in it. It is just that the Yu clan contributed the most. Qin Liangzheng is still the manager of the underground city. The underground city was suddenly sneak attacked. Fortunately, the defense was strong enough, and everyone was able to smoothly withdraw. When the underground city was attacked, Qin Liangzheng led the city protection squad to fight against the outsiders. Only then did the people inside the city successfully withdraw. Originally, there were 200 people defending the city, but now there were only 150 left. All of them had died in battle with the aliens. Qin Wenyin heard this. She lightly sighed. "There's a divine firmament golden stone near the underground city. Moreover, it is a huge one. After it was discovered by the outsiders, they decided to launch a sneak attack on the underground city. At first, the outsiders let the huge beasts of the outer space move underground and attack the underground city. After getting the people out, the outsiders attacked. The outsiders can enslave the beasts and people of the outer space." Qin Yun said, "Isn't that even more difficult to deal with? This is very normal. The outsiders are the strongest existences in their universe. Those beasts and beastmen are far from being a match for the outsiders." Qin Liangzheng sighed. "Not only did we lose the underground city, we even lost the medium-sized gold stone mine. There should be many people guarding the medium-sized gold stone mine, right?" Qin Yun asked. "Yes, they all died in battle. The attack of the outsiders this time was very fierce. Even if we were prepared, we still couldn't stop them." Qin Liangzheng said. He is also very sad. The medium-sized goldstone mine would have at least the 8th level of the divine firmament realm guarding it. Most of the seniors at the 8th or 9th level of the divine firmament realm know each other. Then why did you go back and launch a sneak attack? This is very risky. Qin Yin found it hard to understand. There is something under the medium-sized goldstone mine. We didn't know about it before and only discovered it later. That kind of thing can't be obtained by the outsiders, so we decided to risk our lives to destroy it. But we underestimated their strength to protect the goldstone mine. Qin Liangzheng's face is filled with resentment. He clenched his fists tightly and gritted his teeth. Qin Yin didn't notice anything before, and Miluo also didn't notice anything. What is it? I might be able to destroy it. Qin Yin thought that he could give it a try. He also wanted to help. Chapter 2987. Hearing Qin Yun's words, Qin Liangzheng hesitated for a moment, then shook his head and said, "No, it's too risky. It's fine. It's more convenient for me to act alone. It's not like I'm going to assassinate powerful aliens." Qin Yun said with a smile, "I am most proficient in this kind of solo operation. As long as I don't have to face powerful enemies, there will be no problem." Qin Liangzheng shook his head repeatedly. "But this is equivalent to having you face a powerful enemy. The strength of the outsiders is far above yours. Even the weakest of the aliens stationed at that medium-sized metalstone mine could easily defeat you." Qin Yun said with a smile, "It's not like I'm going to find them directly. I'm moving stealthily. I can dive deep underground. You said that there's something in a medium-sized metalstone mine, so it must be deep underground." Liang Zheng said, "I sent some people to infiltrate from the depths before, but they failed in the end. They guarded that thing to the death. The person I sent was lucky enough to escape because he had a powerful innate ability. He was in the 7th tier of the divine space realm, but he almost died." "What is that thing?" Qin Yun became even more curious. There was something beneath the medium-sized goldstone mine that the heaven-opening race had only just discovered. That sort of thing usually grows in the center of a goldstone mine. It can be considered a type of plant, but at the same time, it isn't. At the moment, we can't be sure whether it's a medicinal ingredient or not. Qin Liangzheng said, "It's a type of flower that we call the Divine Universe Crystal Flower." Yun's heart skipped a beat. He believed that it would definitely be very useful. He planned on asking Taisher what it was later. "Can this flower be eaten?" asked Qin Yun. "We can't eat it. We still don't know how to use it." The ancient dragon clan obtained one before and asked the alchemists of the various clans to participate in the research. "I'm not sure what the exact situation is now," Qin Liangzheng said. "I only know that the people from the outer universe attach great importance to it, so it must be of great use to them." Yin said, "Senior, where is that flower? I can really give it a try. If it's too dangerous, I can definitely escape." "Don't even think about it. Just retreat with us," Qin Liangzheng said. "Senior, didn't you say that you would destroy the Divine Universe Crystal Flower at all costs?" Qin Yun asked again, "Why are you giving up now?" He believed that Qin Liangzheng was hiding something about the Divine Universe Crystal Flower. For destroying the Divine Space Crystal Flower actually required the City Defense Squad to sacrifice their lives. That meant that the matter of the Divine Space Crystal Flower was definitely not simple. Qin Liangzheng said, "If we risk our lives and can really destroy that Divine Universe Crystal Flower, then we will definitely go." However, after our previous attack, we realized that even if we sacrificed our lives, it would be of no use, so we could only retreat. Yin had seen them attack before. However, they were surrounded at the very beginning. In the end, they would definitely be annihilated. In addition, there were definitely many aliens hiding nearby, but they had yet to come out. Qin Yun had already decided that she would properly investigate that medium-sized metalstone mine. Even if she couldn't obtain the Divine Space Crystal Flower, she would destroy it. Station the Heaven-Opening clan members guarding the medium-sized metalstone mine had all been killed by the aliens, but they hadn't paid any price. If they let them obtain the precious Divine Space Crystal Flower, wouldn't those people have died in vain? Qin Yun had his own plan to go deeper underground more safely. He wanted to escape by himself, but Qin Liangzheng was keeping a close eye on him. Qin Liangzheng would never allow juniors to take risks. He could already tell that Qin Yun wanted to take risks, so he was constantly watching Qin Yun. With Qin Yun's current strength, it would be very difficult to escape from Qin Liangzheng's eyes. Therefore, he could only obediently follow Qin Liangzheng's city defense squad and leave the Nine Sun Sacred Ground. Only once he got out, he would shake off Qin Liangzheng and then quietly enter the Nine Sun Sacred Ground. With the Little Queen Ant's help, entering the Nine Sun Sacred Ground would be a piece of cake. The Little Queen Ant liked the Divine Universe Purple Sun's energy very much. She had been inside for so many years, absorbing the Divine Universe Purple Sun's energy at all times to become stronger. Qin, every time Yin asked the Little Queen Ant for help, he would secretly sigh. How could this cute little fairy master such a powerful ability? Qin after Qin Liangzheng brought Qin Yun back to the team. He didn't tell the others about Qin Yun's identity. He only said that Qin Yun was a survivor of the medium-sized metalstone mine. In Qin Liangzheng's eyes, Qin Yun was still relatively important. The others might not know, but he knew that Qin Yun was half a disciple of Shao Qihong. Qin Liangzheng Yun must have sneaked into the Nine Suns sacred ground this time. If Shao Qihong found out, Senior Shao Qihong would definitely criticize the Imperial Sky Sect Master. Qin Liangzheng and Yu Yuan had a good relationship, so he took care of Qin Yun and let Qin Yun stay by his side, not letting him leave even half a step. Qin Liangzheng Yun didn't know about the relationship between Qin Liangzheng and Yu Yuan. He was only thinking about how to return to the medium-sized metalstone mine. Follow with the city defense team. They arrive at the Nine Suns Sacred Grounds barrier in just half a day. Then, they found a passage to leave. After entering the passage, people came to receive them one after another. Many of them were seniors at the 7th or 8th level of the Divine Universe realm. They all knew that the underground city had been attacked, and were talking to Qin Liangzheng with heavy hearts. Qin Liangzheng Yun was handed over to an elder of the Imperial Sky Sect to bring back. The elder recognized Qin Yun, but he found it strange that Qin Yun had come to the Nine Suns sacred ground. Qin Liangzheng didn't say too much to the elder. He only asked the elder to bring the Imperial Sky Sect disciple back. The elder arranged for Qin Yun to bring the disciple back to the Imperial Sky Sect. Then, Qin Liangzheng informed the people guarding the passage to keep an eye on it and don't let disciples with low cultivation secretly enter the Nine Suns sacred ground. Qin Liangzheng thought that Qin Yun sneaked in through the passage. He was worried that Qin Yun would go in again. Qin Yun returned to the Imperial Sky Sect and immediately sneaked out. In less than half a day, he returned to the Nine Suns sacred ground. After entering the Nine Suns sacred ground, Qin Yun waited until nightfall. Then he asked Malheur to come out and bring him to the vicinity of the medium-sized metalstone mine. Malheur has already recovered her blue hair. Her red hair state will only appear again after a month. She used her mental power to mark the medium-sized metalstone mine, so she will still be able to sense it for more than 10 days. Big brother, are there many bad guys in that place? Malheur brought Qin Yun back, floated in the air, and looked ahead. There are many bad guys, but they can't catch me, Qin Yun said with a smile. Malheur, you continue to deal with the golden crispy metal with Big Sister Yun. After Malheur returned to the Nine Sun Divine Soul, Qin Yun drilled into the ground and took out the divine mirror of primal beginning. He told old brother Taisher about the divine universe crystal flower. As for what it is exactly, I have to see it to know. In my impression, there is indeed a possibility of something appearing in a large number of divine universe golden stones. Taisher said, I don't remember the specifics. Wait until I see it. I might be able to recall it. Chapter 2988. Qin Yun doesn't even know if he can reach that place. He just suddenly thought of good method and felt that there's a high possibility of reaching that place. Old brother Taisher, what will happen if I pour my mental power into the divine King Heavenly Seal? Qin Yun asked. When you use the divine King Heavenly Seal to fight, it will erupt with even stronger mental power. Taisher said, you can give it a try. Then what if I pour my mental power into the divine mirror of primal beginning? Will it allow me to detect the aliens? Qin Yun feels that his mental power is quite strong, but when used with the heavenly eye, it is still difficult to see through deep underground. Previously, he didn't know that there are a large number of beastmen and beasts hiding deep underground. Now he wants to enter the core of the mine. In that place, there might even be aliens stationed there, so he needed to have a strong perception ability. The divine mirror of primal beginning can help you sense the aliens, but it will consume a lot of your mental power. Taisher said, how much will it consume? Qin Yun knew that it would be like this. If he consumed his mental power, he would have to use the divine King Heavenly Seal to replenish it. You will know once you try, Taisher said. Qin Yun is now deep underground. He didn't continue forward because he is worried that he will encounter aliens. Then these aliens, be it beasts or beastmen, all have strong perception ability. If the distance is far, Qin Yun is not afraid of being discovered. But deep underground, he is at a loss. What if he suddenly goes next to an alien beast? If that happened, he might be discovered. If he did not kill that alien beast immediately, he would definitely alarm even more alien beasts, and even the aliens would be alarmed. Qin Yun tightly gripped the handle of the divine mirror of primal beginning and began pouring in mental power. Just as he poured in, he felt that his mental power has been consumed a lot. Check after the test. There are only 50 left. Only in just an instant, he consumed 10 points of mental power. This consumption is too great. He looking at the divine mirror of primal beginning. The surface of the mirror is pitch black, and there is a golden dot. The golden dot is Qin Yun's current location. And about a few hundred meters away from him, there are a few red dots. Those are the aliens. The divine mirror of primordial beginning can detect a range of about 1 kilometer. Qin Yun looked at the numbers displayed by the divine mirror of primordial beginning. It meant that if he walked forward 800 to 900 meters, he would need to conduct another probe. Can the divine mirror of grand beginning detect the divine universe goldstone? Qin Yun suddenly had an idea. It would be even better if it could detect it. Impossible. Taisher's reply poured a bucket of cold water on Qin Yun. Qin Yun walked forward for about 800 or 900 meters, then used another 10 points of mental energy to scan the surroundings. There's an alien creature in front of us. It looks like a human. It should be an orc. It's quite big. Yin looked at the divine mirror of primordial beginning and was secretly delighted. A beastman of this size was exactly what he was looking for. Previously, he had thought of a way to sneak into the underground of a medium-sized goldstone mine. He would capture a larger outer universe orc and modify it into an orc puppet. Then, he would sneak in through the orc puppet. Qin Yun immediately went over. He did not know how strong the beastman was. He only knew that the beastman could drill into the ground and was now patrolling back and forth underground. The aliens were afraid that the heaven-opening ancient race would sneak in through the depths, so they sent many beastmen and beasts that could drill into the ground to patrol the depths. Qin Liangzheng had previously told Qin Yun that they had previously sent people to infiltrate the mine from deep underground, but they were still discovered in the end. It was clear that they were discovered by the outer universe, beastmen and beasts that were patrolling the depths of the earth. To every time the divine mirror of primordial beginning absorbed 10 points of Qin Yun's mental energy, it would fluctuate with a strange energy. After searching for a large living creature nearby, it would mark it. Mark after recording it, it would appear on the divine mirror of primordial beginning. Even if those living creatures were moving, Qin Yun would be able to see them through the divine mirror of primordial beginning. After approaching the giant beast man, he would use the divine mirror of primordial beginning to probe it to see if he could sense how strong it was. How strong is this guy? Can I secretly take it down? Qin Yun asked. I can be sure that these beastmen souls are far inferior to yours. Since they haven't cultivated soul divine universe, they don't have mental energy. Otherwise, they might discover that you are using the divine mirror of primordial beginning to probe. Taisher said, I was using the divine mirror of primordial beginning to probe the surroundings. I wasn't discovered because these guys don't have mental energy. Qin Yun said in surprise. What if there are guys who have cultivated mental energy? Wouldn't I be discovered? No, unless their mental energy is very strong, they might be able to discover the divine mirror of primordial beginnings probe. Of course, if you directly release your mental energy, that might not necessarily be the case. Taisher said, the divine mirror of primordial beginning releases very weak and can be hidden very well. It's very difficult to be discovered. Don't worry. Qin Yun heaved a sigh of relief and said, that outer universe beastman doesn't have mental energy. In other words, I can use mental attacks on it. That's right, Directly attacking the outer universe beastman's soul is the only way for you to quickly defeat it. But there's still a certain risk. It's very likely that the outer universe beastman will sense your approach. Taishur said, "That's why after you get close, you better use star-fixing divine art to lock down the outer universe beastman and then use mental energy to attack its soul." Qin Yun immediately took action and quickly entered the tunnel dug out by the outer universe beastman and followed behind it. That outer universe beastman is 3 meters tall and looks like a huge chimpanzee. His entire body is bulging with muscles, and he is wearing very thick armor. Qin Yun is following behind the outer universe beastman. Although he is invisible, he still feels that he will be discovered at any time. Outside, the outer universe beastman is very vigilant. He suddenly turned around and looked at Qin Yun's location with his blue eyes. Qin Yun immediately activated the divine mirror of primordial, beginning to lock down the outer universe beastman. Then he took out the divine king heavenly seal and poured his mental energy into it. Divine, the surface of the divine king heavenly seal shot out a golden light towards the outer universe beastman's head. It is like a mark formed from runes and branded into the outer universe beastman's soul. Only in an instant, the outer universe beastman stood there motionlessly. Qin Yun doesn't know what the outer universe beastman's soul is like. This is the first time he knows that the divine king heavenly seal has this kind of ability. He immediately took out the soul lost due and used it on the outer universe beastman's soul to erase its consciousness. Then he used the divine king heavenly seal to recover his mental energy. "Gorilla, carry me forward." Qin Yun quickly took out the outer universe beastman's soul and put in another puppet soul to control the outer universe beastman. After Qin Yun became invisible, he lied on the outer universe beastman's back and controlled it to move forward. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.